Chapter 1127. Her breasts could be tied up, but what about her Adam's apple? Here. Elder Shen took out a bottle of medicine. Ning Shu said, "You can take this medicine. You have to take it every day. Maybe you can grow an Adam's apple, a beard, leg hair, and chest hair." Ning Shu was speechless. Ning Shu didn't dare to take the medicine from Elder Shen's hands. She couldn't imagine herself growing a beard and an Adam's apple. Were her breasts going to shrink? This medicine sounded like male hormones. Was she going to grow a penis? Is there any other way? She could be a tomboy, but she couldn't become a transvestite. No. You can just take the medicine when the time comes, Elder Shen said casually. Ning Shu was speechless. Not everyone cared about their body. Taking medicine like this was also a form of destruction to the body. What about endocrine disorders? Up to you. You can take the medicine now. Get lost. Elder Shen was about to put away the medicine bottle when Ning Shu snatched the medicine from Elder Shen's hands. I'll take it. Ning Shu went back to her room with Qi Yi's face. On the way, she met many maidservants. These maidservants even threw handkerchiefs and pouches to Ning Shu before running away shyly. As expected, jade-faced young gentleman was so popular. Ning Shu sniffed the sachet. It was very fragrant. Mei Wu was guarding the door. When he saw Ning Shu, he was stunned for a moment before asking, "What exactly are you doing?" "Nothing." Ning Shu went into the room. She took off the skin of the dough and soaked it in the medicinal water. Ning Shu took out the medicine bottle and poured out a pill. Looking at the black pill, Ning Shu swallowed a mouthful of saliva. If she ate this, she would become a tomboy with a beard? Ning Shu threw the pill into her mouth and swallowed it with a gulp. After taking the pill, Ning Shu couldn't help but take off his clothes to look at his chest. Did it shrink? Did he grow chest hair? Sigh. Ning Shu sighed and began to cultivate. What was there to be afraid of when one was strong enough? For the past few days, Ning Shu had been cultivating. When he was hungry, he would eat and take medicine. After taking the medicine, Ning Shu clearly felt that his voice was much lower and his throat was quite uncomfortable. He was about to become a real man. This thing really messed up the endocrine imbalance, and the most direct manifestation was the abnormal menstruation. Ning Shu stayed at home and cultivated. After nearly a month, the pigeons that flew out returned. A maid came to call Ning Shu to the main hall. When Ning Shu arrived at the main hall, he half knelt and saluted Yi Hua. "Greetings, sect master." Yi Hua raised the piece of paper in his hand. "There's a reply. Is Qi Yi really a traitor?" Old Ghost could not help but ask. "Facts have proven that he is," Yi Hua said and passed the piece of paper to Ning Shu. Ning Shu took a look and the general content was for Qi Yi to quickly leave the Holy Devil cult. There would be someone to receive Qi in the town closest to the Holy Devil cult. This Qi really hid it well. He even hid it from the old sect master. Old Ghost couldn't keep his face and even pulled the old sect master out. Who would have thought that Qi Yi was a spy? I heard that his whole family was killed by the righteous sects, so the old sect master brought him back. It seems that his parents' death was also fake. Old Ghost said indignantly. Those people are really dead. Maybe those people who were killed by the righteous sects have nothing to do with Qi. Old Ghost curled his lips. Saying that our Holy Devil cult is evil, these people aren't any better. What do you think? Yi Hua asked Ning Shu. He swept a glance at Ning Shu's face and asked with some astonishment, "I haven't seen you for a while. How did your face become like this? Your skin is rough, your face is oily, and the hair on your face has turned black." Yi Hua was busy with the Holy Devil cult every day, so it was normal for the siblings not to see each other for a month. Because they had not seen each other for a long time, Yi Hua immediately saw the changes. Yi Hua's gaze moved down and saw something like an Adam's apple. "What are you playing at?" Ning Shu. Ning Shu could not help but touch his face and said calmly, "Recently, I found out that there is a man living in my body. I want to become a man and give it a try." "Nonsense," Yi Hua reprimanded. When Ning Shu said this, the face of Mei Wu, who was standing at the side like a wooden stake, twitched. Old Ghost saw that the siblings were talking, so he asked his subordinate to take his leave and went out. Ning Shu cupped his hands to Yi Hua and said to him, Brother, they can arrange spies. We can also arrange spies. Yi Hua stroked his sleeves and said indifferently, What do you want to do? Ning Shu took out the mask and pasted it on his face. He said to Yi Hua, I can infiltrate the righteous sections. Yi Hua was expressionless. When did you start to care about the matters of the cult? I want to share brother's burden. Didn't that Chi deceive me because I looked like I didn't know anything? Ning Shu said sincerely. Yi Hua reached out and touched Ning Shu's head. His hand slid down to Ning Shu's neck. A pair of cold hands touched Ning Shu's neck. All the hairs on Ning Shu's body stood up. Yi Hua withdrew his hand. This matter is very dangerous. It's not something you can handle. Even if you want to be a spy, it's not you. I can do it. Ning Shu said in a low voice. I wanted to do this, so I asked Elder Shen for the medicine. I can't suffer for nothing. I have my own plans. You don't have to say anything. Go back. Yi Hua waved his hand. Brother. Yi Hua glanced at Ning Shu expressionlessly. Do you want to reply? Ning Shu asked. Wait until we find a suitable candidate. Ning Shu shut his mouth and left the hall. Mei Wu followed behind Ning Shu. Mei Wu drew his sword and placed it on Ning Shu's neck. Ning Shu glanced at the sword, clamped it between his fingers, and moved it away from his neck. What are you doing? I said that if I die, your miss can forget about coming back, Ning Shu said indifferently. If he didn't listen this time, he wouldn't be able to escape a beating. Ning Shu moved his neck and a cracking sound came from it. Mei Wu's face flushed. He placed his sword on Ning Shu's neck again. Are you a man? Ning Shu snorted. Mei Wu's face twitched. Did you violate Mrs. Body? Ning Shu. Ning Shu's mind immediately conjured up the image of herself groping Du Bing's body wretchedly. I'm a woman, Ning Shu said righteously. I don't believe you. Mei Wu stared at Ning Shu. You said yourself that there's a man living in your body. I'm a woman. You don't have the tenderness of a woman. I'll believe you if you're a man. Ning Shu. Ning Shu flicked the sword away with her finger and turned to leave. Don't point your sword at me. Your actions will easily arouse suspicion. If I die, your mistress really won't be able to come back. You have to think carefully. Chapter 11:28. Mei Wu took back his sword angrily. If you don't get out of Mrs. Body when the time is up, I'll tell Cult Master. Ning Shu rolled his eyes. You can be louder and let others know. Then I'll be burned to death as a monster and your miss will turn into ashes. Mei Wu felt that his intelligence was being insulted again and again. You should be careful. Why are you threatening me? I advise you to behave yourself and don't jump up and down in front of Cult Master. Miss isn't close to Cult Master and she's a little afraid of him. Ning Shu raised his hand to touch his head, following the place Yi Hua touched and stopping at his neck. On her neck, Ning Shu felt a small protruding thing. It should be a mole. It seemed that Yi Hua was a little suspicious of her. However, she had to get Yi Hua's consent and support in order to achieve better results. If Yi Hua didn't agree, she could only act alone. She was afraid that if she became Chi-E, Yi Hua would send people over. At that time, they would have to fight each other. Ning Shu returned to his room and wanted to continue cultivating. Mei Wu asked Ning Shu, Are you really going to do such a dangerous thing? You can't risk Mrs. Body. Didn't you say that Miss won't come back if you die? I'll tell Cult Master not to let you go, Mei Wu said. Cult Master, can't you have your own ideas? Ning Shu said angrily, If Cult Master kills me, your miss won't come back. You have to think carefully. Do you really want to do this? You keep using miss to threaten me. Let me tell you this threat. I'm not afraid, Mei Wu stammered. Ning Shu said, When I finish what I have to do, I'll naturally leave. If I don't do anything, I'll leave longer and longer. When your miss comes back, she'll be an old woman with wrinkles all over her face. I want to follow you and protect Mrs. Body, Mei Wu said. Up to you. The problem was whether Yi Hua would agree to her going. Ning Shu ate a pill and began to cultivate. No matter what, he had to cultivate first. The Qi gene in his Dantian was almost able to form Qi form. Now that she had formed her Qi form, Her strength had grown even stronger. Ning Shu waited for a few days before Yihua finally called her. Yihua must have thought it through. Yihua went straight to the point and said, I agree that you should go. Thank you, big brother. Call me Sect Master. Yes, Sect Master. So heartless, so cold, and so unreasonable. Another letter came, urging us to quickly take the things away. Yihua sneered. Did they really think that the Holy Devil cult could come and go as they pleased? Yihua looked at Ning Shu. This matter is very dangerous. Don't look at how those people are from righteous sections. They seem to have the common people in their hearts. Confucians use literature to overthrow the law, while chivalrous people use martial arts to violate the law. Once you are discovered, you will definitely die miserably. Ning Shu's expression was somewhat conflicted. He immediately said, I still want to go. I also want to help Big Brother. Sect Master, I am also the child of the previous Sect Master. Yihua's face was expressionless as he touched his sleeves. Does Hong Yi want to be the Sect Master? Ning Shu, Hong Yi doesn't have such thoughts. The Holy Devil cult has always been managed by the Sect Master. Moreover, if Hong Yi does this, the other cult members will not know. Hong Yi relies on the Holy Devil cult's protection. For the sake of the Holy Devil cult's stability, Hong Yi has to repay the Holy Devil cult. Yihua's expression was indifferent as he pressed a button on the chair. A small box appeared from the wall behind the chair. Yihua took out a book from the box and threw it to Ning Shu. Ning Shu quickly caught it and looked. It was Origin Returning Sacred Art. The secret book was very old, as if it had gone through the passage of time. Ning Shu said, Sect Master, actually you can just make a fake one. This is a fake. Yihua said, Ning Shu, this ability to fake. Take this Origin Returning Sacred Art and meet with those people. Yihua said. Ning Shu nodded. I understand. I will go and prepare. Is this secret book all fake? If it was fake, there would be real things inside. If it was completely fake, no one would believe it. Moreover, there were martial arts masters who could tell it was fake with a single glance. 90% of it is real. Yihua said. Don't think about cultivating. You can't cultivate this thing. Ning Shu nodded. I understand. Ning Shu's eyes turned. Brother, can you cultivate it? Yihua glanced at Ning Shu. This secret book can't be cultivated just by obtaining it. It has to be chosen. Ning Shu understood the meaning behind his words. Yihua didn't cultivate it and didn't give it to others to cultivate. If someone could really cultivate it, then wouldn't they overthrow Comrade Yihua's rule over the Holy Devil cult? Let me know when you are leaving. I will send people to kill you. Yihua said. Be careful. Ning Shu took the things back to his room and casually flipped through the Origin Returning Sacred Art. This was actually a very crude and simple cultivation technique. Since it was a cultivation secret book, it needed something like a spirit root. Without a spirit root, ordinary people could only cultivate until they were full of farts. It was completely useless. Ning Shu tied his hair into a man's bun and changed into men's clothes. Then he took out a mask and put it on his face. The mask stuck tightly to his skin. He looked at himself in the bronze mirror. He was a little shorter and his frame was a little smaller. He looked a little like a jade-faced gentleman. Ning Shu carried the package out of the room. Mei Wu was waiting for Ning Shu outside. Ning Shu stared at Mei Wu. Are you really going to go with me? I want to protect Mrs. Body. Mei Wu said. Ning Shu didn't care. He left the Holy Devil Peak without any obstructions. Ning Shu and Mei Wu headed for the town closest to the Holy Devil Peak. However, they were ambushed on the way. These people were all arranged by Yihua. Ning Shu deliberately slipped up and got injured. Mei Wu was also injured. A group of people chased after Ning Shu and Mei Wu. Ning Shu got more and more wounds on his body. However, the wounds weren't serious. They arrived at the town covered in dust. When they arrived at the town, they were still being chased. They killed people on the streets in broad daylight and overturned many stalls. Ning Shu and Mei Wu were in a sorry state. Their bodies were covered in blood. They felt like they had used up all their strength and couldn't hold on any longer. When they passed by a restaurant, a few young talents dressed in white with swords hanging at their waists flew down from the window and blocked Ning Shu and Mei Wu's path. They were very imposing. How dare you, evildoers of the Holy Devil sect? How dare you kill people in broad daylight? Who are you? It's none of your business that our Holy Devil sect is chasing after traitors. Why are you meddling in other people's business? The leader said aggressively. Bah, it's the rats of the Holy Devil sect again. They wear black clothes every day and even cover their faces. Are they really that shameful? One of the young men said. Chapter 1129. A few young men from reputable sects stood in front of Ning Shu, looking awe-inspiring as they mocked the people from the Saint Devil cult. The leader of the Saint Devil cult stared at Ning Shu. Chi-yi, hand over the item and I will let you off. Otherwise, you will be made into a medicine man by Elder Shin. Wasn't this the person they were waiting for? The young men looked at each other. Young master, are you Chi-yi? A man with delicate features asked Ning Shu. Ning Shu nodded. I am Chi-yi. We are here to receive senior brother under the orders of the Fort Lord. Please don't worry. The man stretched out his hand, bent his fingers, and blew a sharp sound. After a while, a few more people came over. When the leader of the Saint Devil cult saw that he was surrounded, he pointed at Ning Shu and threatened, just you wait. The cult master won't let you off. Let's retreat. The people who were chasing after Ning Shu and Mei Wu dispersed in a hubbub. These demons from the Saint Devil cult have no morals at all. They bully the weak and fear the strong. The reputation of the Saint Devil cult has been tarnished by these rat-like people. Ning Shu was speechless. Why couldn't they run when there were so many of them? Was it the morals of the Saint Devil cult to die heroically? Senior brother Chi, you don't have to be afraid. The people from the Saint Devil cult have all left, Ning Shu said. Ning Shu hugged the bundle tightly and nodded. Senior brother Chi, why are you so short? Why is your frame so small? A man asked suspiciously. Ning Shu waved his hand and looked as though he couldn't bear to recall the past. He said in a deep voice, you guys know that the people from the Saint Devil cult only know how to dig a hole to live in. Most of the time, they don't get any sunlight. I joined the Saint Devil cult when I was in my teens, but I basically didn't grow any taller. Senior brother Chi, let's bring you to the Fort Lord. Ning Shu was surprised. Even the Fort Lord is here? The Fort Lord is here to receive you personally. Ning Shu nodded and followed the group into a big house. They walked into the hall of the big house. A middle-aged man sitting at the head of the table stood up when he saw Ning Shu enter. He held him up and laughed. Chi, you're finally back. As he spoke, he patted Ning Shu's shoulder. Your body is so weak. It's been hard on you. Ning Shu waved his hand. It's not hard. For the sake of Uncle's matter and for the sake of all living beings in the world, Chi is not hard at all. This dignified man was the current chief of Wulin, Chi's uncle, and the lord of Zhao Castle. You've suffered all these years. Go wash up and we'll leave first, Zhao Bo said. Zhao Bo's eyes fell on Mei Wu. It's a demonic sect that I instigated. It's just that there's something wrong with their brains, Ning Shu said. Mei Wu glanced at Ning Shu without saying anything. Zhao Bo laughed heartily. It's a good thing to abandon the dark and join the light. Ning Shu said, let's leave first. This place is very close to the demonic sect. They might catch up with us soon. Zhao Bo smiled faintly and said, it's okay. There's still time for you to wash up. It seems that Uncle already has a foolproof plan. I'll go take a rest then. Ning Shu looked exhausted. Zhao Bo probably wanted to see if the demonic sect would catch up with them. The demonic sect would not let her go if she had something on her. Go ahead. Ning Shu looked around the room before washing up carefully. She hugged the package and lay on the bed to sleep. Ning Shu was not sleeping soundly. When she heard the door creak open, Ning Shu pretended to be asleep. She felt a gaze sweeping over her. Ning Shu was wondering who this person was when Zhao Bo's voice sounded. Let's go. The demonic sect is catching up. At the same time, he pushed Ning Shu. Ning Shu opened her eyes and looked at the sky. It was already dark. Are they catching up? Ning Shu hurriedly got up. Yes, let's go. Zhao Bo said, we can't let the demonic sect know that we've been here. Otherwise, the good and evil will start fighting again. Ning Shu led Mei Wu out of the big house. The people of the Zhao Castle each rode a horse and galloped towards the Zhao Castle. This place was under the jurisdiction of the demonic sect. The surroundings of every sect were all considered their own territory. It would be strange if the demonic sect was willing to let them rob their things in the demonic sect's territory. The group hurried out of the small town. The people behind them were like maggots in a tarsal bone. Zhao Bo led the people of the Qi Castle to the Zhao Castle. They did not stop to rest on the way. Every time they reached a place, they would change horses. It seemed that this was arranged in advance. In this way, they gradually got rid of the demonic sect's pursuit. Ning Shu saluted Zhao Bo and said, Uncle, you're so thoughtful. You managed to get rid of the demonic sect's pursuit so quickly. Zhao Bo shook his head. The Jianghu is dangerous. You have to be prepared for everything. The Zhao Castle will be handed over to you sooner or later. In 2 years, the martial arts world will have a general election. At that time, I hope that the martial arts world's chief will still be from the Zhao Castle. Ning Shu's eyes lit up. Qi will remember this. Qi will not let Uncle down. You're not called Qi anymore. You're called Zhao Yi. While they were talking, everyone ate something and hurried on with their journey. The disciples of the Qi Castle, who were very confident before, were now in a sorry state. They had been on the road for almost 10 days. Most of their thighs were bleeding from the abrasion. Ning Shu was not much better. Just like that, they returned to the Qi Castle. Seeing the Qi Castle's gate, Ning Shu was in a daze. Qi Bo patted Qi Bo's shoulder. It's good that you're back. Take good care of your body. Ning Shu was wearing a pair of custom-made shoes to make her look taller. Ning Shu nodded. Finally, I don't have to worry about the demonic sect anymore. Those people are not human. They attack and kill as they please. Qi Bo glanced at Ning Shu's bag. Rest well first. I have something to discuss with you later. Okay. The housekeeper arranged a room for Ning Shu. However, the room was not good. It was remote and narrow. The furniture and decorations were very old. Ning Shu was expressionless. The housekeeper said to Ning Shu, "This is your room." Just this room? Ning Shu stared at the housekeeper. This is where the servants live. Do you know my identity? How could you arrange such a room for me? I'm just following master's orders. Nonsense. Ning Shu frowned and kicked the housekeeper out of the room. The housekeeper fell on his back with a thud. The housekeeper knew martial arts. He did not expect Ning Shu to suddenly hit him. He supported his waist and stood up. Pointing at Ning Shu, he said, You, what do you mean by... You'd better change my room quickly. I don't have a good temper. Ning Shu sat on the bench boldly and decisively. I've worked hard and made great contributions. Just give me this room. The housekeeper clutched his chest and snorted. He left dejectedly. Chapter 1130. Mei Wu looked at Ning Shu. Can't you keep a low profile? If anything happens to Miss, I won't let you off. Don't mention Miss all the time. Are you afraid that others won't know my true identity? I'm here to cause trouble. It doesn't matter if I keep a low profile or not. I have something that Zhao Bo wants. Ning Shu picked up the ceramic teapot on the table, but there was no water in it. Ning Shu put down the teacup impatiently. I don't even have a sip of water. Ning Shu was dissatisfied when he heard hurried footsteps approaching. What's wrong with you? Zhao Bo walked into the room and looked around. Old Zhao, what are you doing? Why did you arrange such a room for Change it to a better one. Yes. The steward immediately said, It's my fault. Old Zhao has worked for Zhao Castle for so many years. Why did he do such a thing as soon as he came back? Zhao Bo said disapprovingly. Ning Shu sneered in his heart. It wasn't Zhao Bo's idea. Ning Shu didn't believe it, so he gave him a show of strength. If he wanted better treatment, he had to give something in exchange. It wasn't good to use such a method. Taking by force wasn't the style of a decent Wulin chief. Even if someone gave him something, he had to refuse it. Zhao Castle will be handed over to you in the future. How can you make your subordinates support you if you do such a thing? Zhao Bo warned Ning Shu. Don't be so reckless next time. Ning Shu said with some shame, Uncle, I've been in the devil sect for a long time. It's inevitable that my temperament is a little weird. You know that those people in the devil sect are abnormal. If I didn't have a little eccentricity and always tolerated everything, I would have been devoured by those bastards. After a long time, I'll get used to the way the devil sect does things. I'll get used to it slowly. Ning Shu said with some annoyance. It's okay. Take your time. Your aunt will prepare a welcome banquet for you and meet Ling. Zhao Bo said with concern for Ning Shu. Then he said to the steward beside him, prepare a better room for Yes, Castle Lord, the steward replied at once. Thank you, Uncle. Will definitely live up to Uncle's expectations. Ning Shu sincerely said to Zhao Bo. Zhao Bo nodded. When you're done, come and have your meal. He then left with his hands clasped behind his back. After the commotion caused by Ning Shu, they were now in a spacious and bright room. The furniture in the room was all new. Obviously, this room was newly decorated. A maid came over and told Ning Shu to eat. When they arrived at the dining area, Zhao Bo's family of 3 was already inside. Zhao Bo had a daughter called Zhao Ling. Other than that, he had no other descendants. Come here quickly. Zhao Bo beckoned to Ning Shu. Uncle. Ning Shu walked over and saw a woman who still retained her charm. This is your aunt. Aunt, I have an impression of her. This is Ling. Cousin. Zhao Ling looked delicate and charming. She sized up Ning Shu and said with some disdain, You're so short. Are you a man? Ling, don't be unruly. How can you talk to your elder brother like that? Madame Zhao reprimanded Zhao Ling. Zhao Ling was obviously a favored child. Her father was the Wulin chief and she was the only child in the family. In this Zhao castle, there were too many people who flattered her. Zhao Ling was the only heir of the Zhao castle. There was also a saying that marrying Zhao Ling was equivalent to owning the Zhao castle. Moreover, there was a Wulin chief as his father-in-law. It was too comfortable. How many years of hard work would it save? Therefore, wherever Zhao Ling went, men would flatter her. Now, there was someone who even her parents cared about so much. Therefore, Zhao Ling was full of hostility towards Ning Shu, this person who suddenly appeared. We're both from the devil sect. You're so short but he's so tall. Zhao Ling pointed at Mei Wu, who was standing at the side like a wooden stake. His brain was used to grow taller. Ning Shu said indifferently, if you were made into a medicine man by poison scorpion a few times, you wouldn't be as tall as me. Ning Shu's face was emotionless as she said, it's not just because I've been living in the cave all year round. When I first came to the devil sect, poison scorpion made me into a medicine man. My body was poisoned. What? Did my short height bother you? Is there something you don't like about me? Ning Shu stared straight at Zhao Ling. How dare you talk to me like that? Zhao Ling pointed at Ning Shu. Even in the devil sect, no one dares to speak to me like this. If anyone dares to speak to me like this, I will tear them in half. Ning Shu grinned and punched the wall, creating a small hole in it. Zhao Ling's words were stuck in her throat. She stared at Ning Shu with her almond-shaped eyes. Ning Shu blew the dust off his hand. This is no longer the Saint Devil sect. You have to control your emotions. Ling is still young and has been spoiled by her mother. Don't bicker with her. Ning Shu immediately said, Yes, uncle. It's my fault. I will definitely control my emotions. Little sister Ling, I'm sorry. Zhao Ling straightened her neck and ignored Ning Shu's apology. Sit down, quickly sit down and eat. Madame Zhao beckoned Ning Shu to sit down. Then she kept putting food into Ning Shu's bowl. Madame Zhao gave Zhao Ling a meaningful glance. Zhao Ling unwillingly put a fish head without meat into Ning Shu's bowl. Madame Zhao glared at Zhao Ling. Zhao Ling proudly said to Ning Shu, Cousin, eat the fish head. It's the most nutritious. Ning Shu glanced at Zhao Ling. He picked up the fish head and threw it on the table. I hate eating fish heads the most in my life. Ling. Zhao looked at Zhao Ling with unusual dignity. What's wrong with you? Ning Shu immediately said, Uncle, it's my fault. I will learn to control my temper in the future. Sometimes I get used to it and my brain doesn't adjust. After eating, come to my study. I have something to tell you, said Zhao Bo. Ning Shu grunted and picked up the food. Almost half of the dishes on the table were eaten by Ning Shu. Zhao Ling muttered softly, rice bucket? Ning Shu ignored her and followed Zhao Bo to the study. Mei Wu followed them and followed Ning Shu closely. Let your friend wait outside. Zhao Bo glanced at Mei Wu and said to Ning Shu. Ning Shu turned to Mei Wu and said, Go eat. This isn't the demon sect. I'm fine. Mei Wu looked at Ning Shu and didn't say anything. Ning Shu glared at him and said, Go. Mei Wu turned and left. Ning Shu helplessly spread out his hands. He's just a little crazy. When we first arrived at the Holy Devil sect, he was bullied. I helped him and he's been following me ever since. It's good to have someone like him by your side. It's much more convenient to have someone running errands for you, said Zhao Bo carelessly. Chapter 1131. Zhao Bo closed the door of the study. Ning Shu said, You've been in the demon sect for so many years. You should be familiar with the terrain and traps there. Yes, I usually pay attention to the terrain. Ning Shu nodded. Zhao Bo pondered for a moment and said, The devil cult's things have been taken away by you, so they must be unwilling to accept it. We have to take advantage of the fact that the devil cult hasn't reacted yet and wipe them out in one fell swoop. We have to do our part for the world. Ning Shu nodded. I'll listen to you. Moreover, there will be a new Wulin general election in a year's time. I hope that you can become the next Wulin Alliance chief. If you lead the team and gather the righteous sects to attack, you will have the chance to become the next Wulin Alliance chief with the Zhao family fort's reputation. I have no objections. I'll listen to you. Ning Shu agreed. This was why Ning Shu wanted to kill Qi Yi directly. Even if Qi Yi did not get the martial arts secret manual and escaped, he could gather people and attack St. Devil Peak. It was the same to destroy the demon sect and then slowly look for the secret manual. Anyway, there was no loss. As the main character, Qi Yi would succeed in everything he did. There would be endless trouble in the future if he let the tiger return to the mountain. Zhao Bo wanted to attack the demon sect so soon because he was afraid that the demon sect would spread the news of the secret manual and make the Zhao family fort a target. Secondly, he wanted to establish absolute prestige and meritorious service among the various sections. For the martial arts world election, even if he could not be the chief of the martial arts world, he wanted the Zhao family fort to have another one. The title of chief of the martial arts world was too important for the development of the Zhao family fort. The chief of the martial arts world could command the Jianghu and integrate resources. What's more, he wanted Ning Shu to hand over the item. Ning Shu nodded. When will you gather the righteous sects? I'll start sending letters to the leaders of the various sects as soon as I return. Soon, these people will gather to attack the demon sect. Zhao Bo said, When the time comes, you will lead these people to attack the demon sect and show your face in front of the various sections. Ning Shu nodded. I'll follow Uncle's arrangements. It was no wonder that Qi Yi had wanted to attack the demonic sect even after he had obtained the secret manual. It was because he needed meritorious service, as well as the prestige and capital to become the chief of the martial arts world. Also, he had to erase the fact that he had once stayed in the demonic sect. Zhao Bo looked at Ning Shu. Ning Shu immediately said, I will not disappoint Uncle. I will destroy the demonic sect. Zhao Bo nodded his head and then instructed, Now that you have already left the Holy Devil cult, you can't act like the Holy Devil cult. Remember to be humble and courteous. Although I am the Martial Arts Alliance Master, there are still many highly respected seniors in the martial arts world. You must not offend these people, understand? Ning Shu nodded. Your nephew will remember. I will definitely adjust my emotions. Weren't you poisoned before? This time, there will be people from the Immortal Medicine Valley coming over. Let them take a look at you. Zhao Bo said with concern. Ning Shu's face revealed a happy expression. When will the people from the immortal medicine valley arrive? I don't know if I can still grow taller after the poison is cured. The valley master of the immortal medicine valley has the highest medical skills, but he doesn't leave the valley easily. Zhao Bo sighed. I will try my best to invite them for you. Thank you, uncle. Alright, I should give you the thing. Ning Shu seemed to have just remembered the secret manual. Zhao Su's face revealed a trace of eagerness, but this emotion only flashed for a moment. He was very calm. Uncle, your nephew will take his leave first. Ning Shu cupped his hands and left the study. After returning to his room, Ning Shu took out the secret manual and went to the study to give it to Zhao Bo. Zhao Bo took the secret manual and looked at it eagerly. He flipped through the pages one by one. Uncle, take a look. This is what your nephew got from the Devil Sect Master Yi Hua's sister, Hong Yi. Your nephew used a little trick and let Hong Yi steal the secret manual. Ning Shu said proudly. Very good. Don't tell anyone about this. Zhao Bo kept the secret manual. Have a good rest. In the next few days, all the sects and clans will gather together. At that time, you will have to lead these people. Ning Shu nodded. Understood. Ning Shu walked out of the study and glanced at the study door. He sneered in his heart. Without spiritual roots, it would be a waste of effort to cultivate. Moreover, although this secret manual was 90% real and there might be spiritual roots, cultivating it might lead to chi deviation. Ning Shu went back to his room. Suddenly, a figure jumped out from the rockery. It seemed to want to scare Ning Shu and even let out a strange cry. Ning Shu kicked the person who suddenly appeared and fell to the ground with a plop. Zhao Ling was kicked away by Ning Shu. She couldn't get up from the ground and blood flowed out from the corner of her mouth. Cough, cough, cough. It's you. Zhao Ling was in so much pain that her face was wrinkled. Aling, why is it you? I thought it was an assassin. Ning Shu walked over to Zhao Ling and stretched out his hand to pull her. Get lost. Zhao Ling pointed at Ning Shu. Junior sister. A disciple of Zhao Castle came over and saw Zhao Ling lying on the ground. They quickly rushed over to help her up. Junior sister, how are you? The surrounding disciples asked Zhao Ling with concern. Previously, no one comforted Zhao Ling so she didn't cry. Now that someone comforted her, Zhao Ling felt wronged and cried out. In Zhao Castle, who dared to treat her like this? Zhao Ling felt wronged. Chi-yi, how can you bully junior sister? A man bullying a woman is despicable. A disciple said. This disciple was in the small town to help Ning Shu. Senior brother, can you help me beat him up? He's too much. Zhao Ling pointed at Ning Shu and said angrily. Then senior brother Chi-yi, I'm sorry. Let's exchange a few moves. Junior sister is protected by all the Zhao Castle brothers. A disciple pulled out his sword. Senior brother Chi-yi, please exchange a few moves with me. Ning Shu glanced at Zhao Ling who was wiping her tears and looked at Ning Shu proudly through the gaps between her fingers. She was eccentric and smart. Ning Shu turned around and left. He couldn't be bothered to quarrel with these people. Are you admitting defeat? Zhao Ling put her hands on her waist. However, she was indeed in pain from Ning Shu's kick. She felt pain in her chest and abdomen after saying a few words. What are you guys doing here? Zhao Bo came out from the study and saw a group of people gathered together. He said sternly, do you think you're number one in the world and don't need to practice martial arts? The disciples cupped their fists and bowed. Ning Shu shouted, Uncle. Hearing Ning Shu's greeting, the disciples were stunned and looked at Ning Shu. Zhao Bo smiled and said, let me introduce you guys. This is Zhao Yi, a member of Zhao Castle. From now on, you guys are of the same generation. Father, he hit me. He attacked me for no reason and made me bleed. Zhao Ling stomped her feet and complained to her father. Chapter 1132. Zhao Ling was smart and eccentric. She had a lot of ideas and was also pretty. In Zhao Castle, she was someone no one dared to offend. Normal people couldn't handle her. Zhao Ling purposely showed the blood at the corner of her mouth. Zhao Bo's scolding had a hint of heartache. How did this happen? It was him who kicked me. Without asking why, he kicked me so heavily. Zhao Ling clutched her chest and frowned, looking extremely uncomfortable. This disciple can testify. At that time, junior sister couldn't even get up from the ground. It was this disciple who helped her up. A disciple said. Xiaobo looked at Ningshu. Ningshu had an apologetic expression. At that time, Ling suddenly jumped out. I thought it was an assassin. My body was faster than my head, so I attacked first. If I knew it was my cousin, I wouldn't have attacked. This is a misunderstanding. In the future, talk nicely with your cousin. He just came back and doesn't know your personality. Okay, go get some medicine from your mother. Xiaobo said to Zhao Ling. Zhao Ling looked at her father in disbelief and unwillingly shouted, Father, I'm injured. Father, you don't love me anymore. Zhao Ling was really sad now. She ran away in tears. The group of senior brothers called their junior sisters and chased after Zhao Ling. Ningshu said, Do you want nephew to apologize to Sister Ling? After all, I was too rude and couldn't control myself. It's not your fault. After all, you've been living in the dangerous demon sect. This daughter of mine has been spoiled by me. When the time comes, I don't know if her husband will be tolerant. Xiaobo couldn't help but shake his head. Ningshu said, Ling is so cute. She'll definitely find a handsome young man to entrust her life to. Zhao Ling was lively and cute in a nice way. But in a bad way, she was unruly and willful. Ningshu wouldn't spoil her. The next time he bumped into her muzzle, he wouldn't have any scruples. Who told her to live in the demon sect for so many years? It was normal for her to be moody. She probably suffered a loss at Ningshu's hands. She was angry and wanted to get back at him. Zhao Ling teamed up with the other disciples to mess with Ningshu every day, wanting to see Ningshu break down and cry. Ningshu directly settled it with violence, and every time, he would make Zhao Ling suffer a bit without leaving a trace. Zhao Ling hated Ningshu so much that she wished she could kill Ningshu. They had formed a huge grudge. Ningshu was more concerned about the gathering of the martial arts world. In the past few days, various sects and clans had arrived at the Zhao Castle one after another. Ningshu was simply speechless towards Zhao Ling. Even at this time, she still brought a group of disciples to cause trouble. Ningshu was very tired of Zhao Ling's childish pranks, so he reminded Zhao Bo, who then let Zhao Ling embroider in the room. How could Zhao Ling know how to embroider? She hated Ningshu even more. With the arrival of various sects and clans, the Zhao Castle became lively. Many sects and clans gathered together, and the clothes of each sect were colorful. Ningshu even saw some bald heads. These monks who were vegetarian and reciting Buddhist scriptures had all come to join in the fun. Every night, the sound of roof tiles could be heard, and wave after wave of people stepped on them. It seemed like they had heard the rumor. Ningshu released the news of the origin returning sacred art, but he didn't release much useful information. He just said that the demon sect had lost something good and was now looking for it all over the world. Moreover, someone had betrayed them and stolen it. There were also some rumors that someone had seen the thief heading towards the Zhao Castle. The demon sect's people had also been lingering around the Zhao Castle. When Zhao Bo heard this, he smashed a thick wooden table to pieces. No wonder those old bald donkeys ran over. They usually eat vegetarian and recite Buddhist scriptures with a benevolent appearance. They don't do things like killing people and want to save the world. Zhao Bo said with a frown. It wasn't just the monks who didn't do anything but wanted benefits. Some small sects and clans also ran over, saying that they wanted to get rid of the demon sect. However, these small sects and clans could only sleep around the Zhao Castle because there weren't that many rooms. These small sects and clans even muttered that the Wulin Alliance master was stingy and wouldn't let them in. They didn't even give them a bite to eat. Although Zhao Bo was angry, he felt that he had self-restraint and didn't argue with these people. How did this news get out? Zhao Bo frowned. Ningshu said in a low voice, It must be those thieves from the demon sect. Maybe it was spread by the people of the Zhao Castle. I used the alias of Qi in the demon sect. Someone in the Zhao Castle knows that my name is Qi. These people probably suspected that the item was in the Zhao castle and ran over. Uncle, what should we do now? Ning Shu asked Zhao Bo, what if these people join forces and ask us for the secret manual? Zhao Bo's expression was indifferent. They don't want the item. Just give them some information. Benefits alone won't do. When the time comes, I'll bring you in front of them. Tell them this. Zhao Bo said to Ning Shu. Ning Shu agreed. Uncle's idea is still the best. Fox. At night, Ning Shu stuffed a book into Mei Wu's hands. Mei Wu took the book and read it. Why are you giving it to me? I have a plan. Do you want to hear it? Ning Shu asked. Mei Wu shook his head. These people have gathered together to attack our sect. We should leave the Zhao castle now. Don't tell me you want to bring these people to attack the Saint Devil Peak? Ning Shu said indifferently, how is that possible? I have a plan. Why are you giving me a lousy book? Mei Wu asked. I think we should leave this place now and inform the sect. What's the point? We can just stay here and have fun, Ning Shu said unhappily. Let me tell you. If you do this tomorrow, Mei Wu stared at Ning Shu. I don't agree. There are so many people here. You want me to die? You don't have good intentions. You're just afraid that I'll keep an eye on you. I don't agree with your plan. I want to stay alive to protect Mrs. Body. Mei Wu stared at Ning Shu viciously. I didn't ask you to die. I just want you to cooperate with me. Everything I do is for the Saint Devil cult, Ning Shu said. Mei Wu shook his head. Ning Shu wasn't angry at Mei Wu's rejection. She and Mei Wu were strangers. After all, she wasn't the original owner. It was normal that Mei Wu didn't listen to her. Since Mei Wu didn't want to cooperate with her, Ning Shu could only find another way. She had to make these people fight. The original owner's tragedy was planned by Zhao Bo and Qi. This time, the Zhao castle would be the battlefield. Ning Shu put the book in her arms and left the room. Mei Wu stopped Ning Shu and asked, Where are you going? I can't sleep. I'm going to find a place to take a walk, Ning Shu said indifferently. You can't do anything dangerous. This is Mrs. Body. Mei Wu blocked the door. Ning Shu stared at Mei Wu without saying a word. Mei Wu felt uncomfortable under Ning Shu's stare. No matter what, you can't risk Mrs. Body. Chapter 1133. To be honest, it was annoying to listen to Mei Wu's nagging every day. She couldn't do anything smoothly. She wasn't the original owner of this body. Mei Wu was the original owner of this body. She really wanted to get rid of this person. I'm not going anywhere. I just ate too much at night. I'm going for a walk. You don't have to follow me. Just wait for me in the house. Ning Shu pointed at Mei Wu. Don't follow me. Ning Shu wandered around Zhao Castle. Because there were many people, there were always people walking around in the courtyard. Ning Shu hid behind the rockery and threw the Plum Blossom Villa's Plum Blossom dart at the Bright Flower Sect's disciples, but he threw the Bright Flower Sect's disciples' sword into the Wuji Sect's house. Along the way, he stepped into the house where the monks were staying. He took out the secret manual from his bosom and threw it into the courtyard. They were all martial artists and were very alert to any movement. When the monks went out, they saw a figure trying to pick up something on the ground. But when someone came out, the figure disappeared in a flash. The monk picked up the secret manual on the ground. When he saw that it was a secret manual, he hurriedly put it away. Because Ning Shu was fishing in troubled waters, the entire Zhao castle was in an uproar. There were sounds of swords and sabers clashing, and people were cursing as they fought. Why did you throw the Plum Blossom dart? You even stuck it in his butt. The Bright Flower Sect's disciple was flustered and exasperated. My junior brother is still bleeding. You deliberately provoked him. The Plum Blossom Villa's disciple immediately retorted. Who shot the dart? You even smelled my dart. People of the pugilistic world fought whenever there was a disagreement. It was impossible for there to be no grudges between these sections. I said that you did it, and the evidence is conclusive. You actually dare to refute me? Anyway, they fought noisily. When people fought, there would naturally be people trying to calm them down. It was very normal for people to be accidentally injured in the chaos. Fuck, who hit me? stop fighting. These sects were actually fighting for themselves. With so many sects mixed together, there was no harmony between the righteous sections. There was no filthy discord. In the end, it became a mess. The trees, stone tables, and flower pots in the courtyard were all attacked. It was a complete mess. When their adrenaline was running high, they didn't care about anything else. If they couldn't win, they would look for helpers. Everyone happily joined the slashing team. Ning Shu hid to the side, avoiding the flower pots and darts that were thrown at him, and went to find Xiao Bo. Xiao Bo was hurrying over. When Ning Shu saw Xiao Bo, he immediately said, "Uncle, these people are going to cause trouble." Xiao Bo's face was ashen. Seeing the chaos and the weapons flying around, he roared, "All of you, stop." Although Xiao Bo was the Wulin Alliance's alliance master, everyone was scared out of their wits. When Xiao Bo shouted, these people simply ignored him. Xiao Bo was stunned. He stretched out his hand and separated these people who were fighting inseparably. One by one, they were sent flying. "Stop it!" Xiao Bo bellowed loudly in his dantian. His voice was so deep and powerful that it was almost unbearable to the ear. Everyone covered their ears and finally quieted down. "Who can tell me what's going on?" Xiao Bo said coldly. This destruction was all his home. "Alliance Master, it's all because of the Plum Blossom Villa's bullying." A disciple said, "Nonsense, don't try to frame people. Our Plum Blossom Villa's people shoot at the vital points. Only those who eat too much will shoot at people's butts. A warrior can be killed but not humiliated. You are deliberately humiliating people." The scene was noisy. One after another, it was even more lively than a market. They all complained to Xiao Bo. Xiao Bo's face was calm as he stared at these people expressionlessly. These were all fights between the younger generation. After a while, the people in charge of the various sects came and saw their own disciples' pigheads. When they saw the mess around them, they all apologized to Xiao Bo, saying that they were not strict enough in their discipline. Xiao Bo's expression became more and more calm. He only said indifferently, "The various sects have to take good care of their disciples. If we really go to exterminate the demon sect, who will be responsible if something happens? Don't even talk about exterminating the demon sect. This is simply throwing away the face of the righteous sections. We haven't even attacked the demon sect and we are already fighting with our own people. If you can't stay in my Zhao family fortress, then leave." Xiao Bo's voice was low and his aura was so strong that it shocked everyone present. "Alliance Master, please forgive us. We will definitely discipline our disciples well." The people in charge of the various sects all said to Xiao Bo, "Anyone who saw their own home being destroyed by others would be furious." Ning Shu saw that Xiao Bo's hands behind his back were clenched into fists. If it wasn't for the big picture, Xiao Bo was probably going to beat these people up to vent his anger. "I gave you food to eat, I gave you a place to stay, but you still want to destroy the house?" Xiao Bo coldly snorted. His displeasure was obvious in his words as he turned around and left. Ning Shu followed. The various sects took their disciples and left. They were disappointed that Xiao Bo didn't go far. They beat and scolded the disciples who caused trouble. They did it on purpose for Xiao Bo to see. After walking for a while, it was almost midnight and the dew was heavy. It was also a little cold. Xiao Bo stopped and sighed. He raised his head and looked at the sky. "Oh, you saw it too. These people are like a plate of loose sand. They only have small benefits in their minds. If the entire Jianghu is united and unified, we won't be held hostage like this." Xiao Bo shook his head and said. Ning Shu raised his eyebrows. This old Zhao had such a huge ambition to unify the Jianghu. It was a little unrealistic to merge all the sects together. It would take a lot of effort to gather people with different habits and different inheritances. The organization would be huge and complicated. When the time came, who knew what it would be like? What was he trying to do by unifying the Jianghu? Was he trying to rebel? Would the imperial court agree? The Jianghu being in chaos was what the imperial court wanted to see. The people of the Jianghu were all fish in a pond. No one could jump out of this pond. They longed to jump out, but jumping out meant death. Ning Shu pondered for a moment and said, "Uncle, Do you have such an expectation? Zhao Bo clenched his fist. Let's start with the Holy Devil cult. Use these people to deal with the Holy Devil cult first. We will slowly plan in the future. After the Holy Devil cult is dealt with, it will be the martial arts world election. My chances of being re-elected are not high, so I hope you can be elected as the martial arts world's chief. Zhao Bo said Ningshu. Ningshu nodded. Nephew will remember. To unify the Jianghu, only an idiot would do such a laborious and thankless task. Moreover, he would be resisted by the various sections. In the end, he couldn't escape the curse of being separated for a long time and separated for a long time. It was as if he had nothing better to do. This way, the situation where the various sects restrained each other was the best. Ningshu said, "It's useless to unify those people." It doesn't matter if it's useless. The most important thing is to be obedient and have people respond when you call for help. Chapter 1134. If he raised his arms and called for help, tens of thousands of people would respond and the imperial court would come to exterminate the rebels. Qi might be able to fulfill Zhao Bo's ambition. As the main character, he would definitely have a secret manual to cultivate his constitution. If Qi had really cultivated the secret manual, even if it was a relatively crude cultivation technique, Qi would have entered a whole new level. He would be different from ordinary people in the pugilistic world. Perhaps Qi could really unify the pugilistic world, go against the imperial court, and become the emperor. Then, he would become a god and immortal before ascending and killing people in another world. This is actually an inspirational drama for the male lead. The original host is just a stepping stone. Ningshu was once again glad that he had killed Qi. A person like Qi would have had a fortuitous encounter even if he did not obtain the holy Guiyuan technique. For example, he might have eaten some heavenly treasure that could increase his internal energy by 60 years. You have to bring these people to attack the demonic sect quickly. If we drag this out, the demonic sect will sense it. Speed is the most important thing in war, Zhao Bo said. Ningshu hummed in acknowledgement. I understand. It seemed that Zhao Bo was also tired of these freeloaders who caused trouble. Ningshu put his hands behind his back and slowly returned to his room. Mei Wu hugged his sword and waited for Ningshu. He glanced at Ningshu but did not say a word. Ningshu could not be bothered with him. He sat cross-legged on the bed and started cultivating. Mei Wu stood guard outside the door. He hugged his sword and did not move at all. The next day, Zhao Bo gathered everyone in the square. The sects were clearly divided. Ningshu stood among the Zhao family fort's team below the stage and looked at Zhao Bo who was on the stage. Chief, everyone cupped their fists and bowed. Zhao Bo did the same. The demonic sect's evildoers kill without reason and harm the innocent. They even rob the commoners of their wealth. As a member of the righteous path, we cannot watch the demonic sect's evildoers kill and steal. Eradicate the demonic sect and enforce justice on behalf of the heavens. Eradicate the demonic sect and enforce justice on behalf of the heavens. The crowd began to yell. Ningshu also raised his arm and shouted. He snorted in his heart. He wouldn't do something that didn't benefit him. He said that he wanted to enforce justice on behalf of the heavens, but to put it bluntly, he valued the wealth of the demonic sect. The world is bustling with activity for profit, and the world is clamoring for profit. After a fight, they would definitely have to split the spoils. Actually, people's hearts were all the same. After the morale was boosted, a monk stood up and said, Amitba, Benefactor Zhao, our Wuyu Temple does not wish to participate in this operation. Hui Kong's master is also from a righteous sect. Wuyu Temple is the leader among the righteous sections. I hope that Wuyu Temple can contribute some strength to eliminating demons and defending the righteous path. Zhao Bo's expression was a little ugly. This time, he had just finished mobilizing, and someone had already appeared to slap him in the face. It made Zhao Bo want to pinch these monks to death. The veins on Zhao Bo's forehead bulged. Since Master Hui Kong does not wish to contribute to the common people of the world, then why did you come? Master, haven't you heard that eliminating evil is also for the sake of kindness? to prevent more people from falling into the hands of the demonic sect. Amitabha, lay down the butcher's knife and become a Buddha. Benefactor Zhao, please don't blame us. Wu Yu Temple is a place of Buddhism that transcends all living beings. This kind of killing is indeed difficult for Wu Yu Temple. I will take my leave now. Hui Kong brought the monks of Wu Yu Temple and was about to leave. Ning Shu's lips curled up. He was afraid that the monks of Wu Yu Temple had obtained the secret manual and didn't want to participate in this matter anymore. They wanted to leave in a hurry. If people found out that Wu Yu Temple had the secret manual, Wu Yu Temple would become the target of public criticism. Hey, wait a minute. Ning Shu flashed and blocked the group of monks. He crossed his arms and said rudely, Master Hui Kong, it's not very appropriate for you to leave just like that, right? Amitabha, benefactor, monks pay attention to the clarity of their thoughts. We won't do this kind of thing that goes against our state of mind. Hui Kong was blocked by Ning Shu and said calmly, just what is it that made everyone of Wu Yu Temple leave in such a hurry? My uncle wants to get rid of the malignant tumor of the martial arts world this time. As a member of the martial arts world, masters should all do their part. Otherwise, everyone's respect for Master Hui Kong and Wu Yu Temple would be in vain. Master Hui Kong frowned and finally shook his head helplessly. Benefactor, you are making things difficult for people. Ning Shu sneered. Master Hui Kong, don't tell me you don't know what happened last night? The people of the demonic sect snuck into Zhao Castle and even caused internal strife among the various sections. Master Hui Kong, if you really want to stand by and do nothing, you must understand the principle of being cold without lips. Monk Hui Kong didn't speak. However, it really wasn't good for him to leave in this kind of situation. Hui Kong could only stay. If he really left, then such a righteous sect wouldn't have a good impression of Wu Yu Temple. Living in the same pond, they either fought or helped each other. Ning Shu said with a smile. That's right. Since the people of the demonic sect are bullying us, we must fight back. Was it the demonic sect that did it last night? Are the people of the demonic sect really around? Then do the people of the demonic sect know that we are going to attack the demonic sect? Zhao Bo pressed his hand down. Quiet. Those are just the small tricks of the demonic sect. They want to disturb our hearts. This is my nephew, Zhang Xian said. Zhao Bo stretched out his hand towards Ning Shu. He hid in the demonic sect for several years when he was 12 years old. He knows everything about the demonic sect. This time, we will definitely be able to wipe out the demonic sect. Everyone didn't care about Ning Shu. Clearly, they had other things on their minds. Alliance Master Zhao, I heard that the Gui Yuan sacred technique is in the Zhao family fort. If we have the Gui Yuan sacred technique, won't our chances of winning be higher? A person said without hesitation. When the others saw that someone finally said it, they all agreed. Yes, Alliance Master Zhao. This Gui Yuan sacred technique can't be taken by the Zhao family fort alone. This time, the people who came to attend the martial arts assembly all had the heart to get the secret technique. Even if they couldn't get it, they still wanted to take a look. The previous soul-stirring atmosphere of the mobilization meeting dissipated in an instant. Now, the only thing on their minds was to ask Zhao Bo for the secret manual. They even said that they wanted to improve their strength to better deal with the demonic sect. What a joke! Was the secret technique so easy to cultivate? They were just looking for a reason. If it was something else, these people wouldn't be so unsightly. But this was something that could have great power. It could become an immortal, move mountains and fill seas. Everyone wanted such a powerful force. So many people were pressuring Zhao Bo. The law couldn't punish the majority. They were forcing Zhao Bo to hand over the secret technique. The title of Alliance Master seemed to be high and mighty. But when it concerned his own interests, he didn't recognize any Alliance Master. Zhao Bo's face was hideous and embarrassed for a moment. Ning Shu said coldly, "What evidence do you have that the Gui Yuan sacred technique is in our Zhao family fort?" Chapter 1135. If the Gui Yuan sacred art isn't in Zhao Castle, why are the demonic sect members around? Last night, the demonic sect members must have wanted to cause chaos and steal the secret manual. Master Hui Kong of the Wuyo Temple heard this and his eyes flickered. Everyone chimed in and listed all kinds of evidence to prove that the Guiyuan's sacred art was in Zhao Castle. Zhao Bo whispered to Ning Shu, "This is why I want to unify the Jianghu. These people, Leader Zhao, I hope you can hand over the Guiyuan's sacred art and benefit the righteous path. This will be a blessing for the righteous path." Zhao Bo said without changing his expression, "The secret manual isn't in Zhao Castle. This is the demonic sect's trick. They want us to kill each other. We haven't even attacked the demonic sect and they're already in chaos. Leader Zhao, the entire Jianghu has spread the news that the demonic sect members are looking for the secret manual, and the secret manual was stolen by a traitor. This person is your nephew, right?" Zhao Bo stared at the person who spoke. He was the leader of the Wuji sect. "Elderly, you have to have proof. I sent the leader to the demonic sect to hide. Not long ago, the demonic sect members saw through him and he escaped. The demonic sect framed Eeyore for stealing," Zhao Bo said indifferently. "Elderly, do you have any objections?" "I don't have any objections, but there's no smoke without fire. The secret manual must be in Zhao Castle," Elderly of the Wuji sect said. "Yes, there's no smoke without fire." Everyone started to make a fuss. Previously, they said they were going to attack the demonic sect. Ning Shu moved his neck, making cracking sounds. "What's the fuss about?" Ning Shu flew down the high platform and attacked Elderly of the Wuji sect. Elderly dodged Ning Shu's fist. "My uncle is talking. Who are you to interrupt?" Ning Shu's fist smashed into Elderly's chest. Elderly immediately retreated 2 steps and spat out a mouthful of blood. The disciples of the Wuji sect immediately surrounded Ning Shu. When Mei Wu saw Ning Shu being surrounded, he used his qinggong and jumped into the encirclement, standing back to back with Ning Shu. "What do you mean?" Elderly of the Wuji sect stared at Ning Shu. Despite his young age, Ning Shu was bleeding from a single punch. Ning Shu raised his chin. "My uncle is the Wulin Alliance leader. Since when is it your turn to interrupt? Even if the item is in my uncle's hands, it belongs to him. What right do you have to ask my uncle to hand it over?" "This is for the common people of the world," Elderly said matter-of-factly. "I don't care about the common people of the world, you shameless thing." Ning Shu clenched his fists. Together with Mei Wu, they defeated the Wuji sect's people. Ning Shu kicked Elderly in the stomach, sending him flying. "Shall we stop?" Zhao Bo shouted to Ning Shu. "Uncle, these people are just asking to be taught a lesson. They really think they're so great. Just teach them a lesson." Ning Shu cracked her knuckles, and the sound of cracking could be heard. "Amitba. Benefactor's hostility is too strong. Fighting and killing won't solve the problem. It will only hurt the harmony," Master Hui Kong said, shaking his head. Ning Shu stared at Monk Hui Kong and sneered. "What's the point of being a peacemaker? Why didn't you persuade the Wuji sect's people just now?" "Benefactor's thoughts are extreme. It's easy for him to go berserk," Master Hui Kong said to Ning Shu. Ning Shu stretched his neck. "It's precisely because he's extreme that he needs to vent his emotions." Ning Shu clenched his fists and attacked Monk Hui Kong. "Master Hui Kong is a person of virtue and prestige. Don't be rude," Zhao Bo said symbolically. After all, Zhao Bo was also dissatisfied with this monk. Ning Shu attacked Monk Hui Kong without holding back. He bent his fingers and grabbed Monk Hui Kong's chest, grabbing Monk Hui Kong's kasaya. Monk Hui Kong blocked Ning Shu. Ning Shu's other hand grabbed Monk Hui Kong's chest. He didn't feel anything like a book. Last night, it was clearly her who threw the secret book at Wuyu Temple's residence. Ning Shu didn't attack Monk Hui Kong anymore. Instead, he attacked Wuyu Temple's monks. In the end, he grabbed a book from a small monk's cloth bag. "Please return it to me." This small monk had red lips and white teeth. His features were clear and bright. It was hard to imagine that a monk could be this good-looking. Ning Shu picked up the cloth bag. "I'm not returning it to you." "Huiji, are you okay?" Master Hui Kong hurriedly asked the small monk with concern. Monk Hui Kong always had the appearance of a monk who was calm and unaffected by external matters. However, he cared a lot about this small monk. Little monk Huiji shook his head. Xixiang, I'm fine. Huiji looked at Ning Shu with a pair of clear eyes. He gave off a very noble feeling. Ning Shu couldn't help but feel ashamed of his inferiority. Benefactor, can you return this to me? Little monk Huiji clasped his hands together and bowed. Ning Shu asked. Ning Shu said nastily, looking at your appearance, you care a lot about this thing. Let me see what's inside. Ning Shu bared his teeth. Monk Hui Kong helplessly shook his head. Little monk Huiji said, Benefactor, please return this to me. I promised Alliance head Zhao to go on a punitive expedition against the devil sect. Ning Shu shrugged his shoulders. It doesn't matter. It's just that my uncle is kind. With me leading the way, Zhao Castle can eliminate the devil sect. There's no need for so many people. Ning Shu opened the cloth bag and took out a book. The name was Ma Prajna Pineapple Heart Sutra. This was the Buddhist scripture Prajna Heart Sutra. Ning Shu was speechless. Was this the book she threw last night? This was a bit awkward. Ning Shu looked at little monk Huiji. This little monk had delicate features, but he didn't have a bit of femininity. He also didn't have a bit of worldly aura. Benefactor, please return this thing to me. Huiji bowed and said calmly. Enough fooling around. Return this thing to little Master Huiji. Ning Shu said. If they didn't find anything on the monks of Wuyu Temple, then why did they leave in such a hurry? Ning Shu handed the yellow cloth bag to little monk Huiji. Even Zhao Bo had to call Huiji little master. This little monk must have something special about him. Huiji, could it be that this guy is very smart? Could it be that he saw something? Or could it be that he saw that the secret manual was fake? Ning Shu's mind flashed with all kinds of thoughts as he stared at little monk Huiji. Huiji took the cloth bag with both hands and strapped it over his body. Little monk Huiji raised his head and met Ning Shu's gaze. He bowed and said, Benefactor, if revenge breeds revenge, will there ever be an end to it? Why don't you let it go? Benefactor has a lot of inner demons. These inner demons will devour Benefactor sooner or later. Little monk Huiji looked at Ning Shu and said, if one's heart is filled with resentment, the world will be hell in the eyes of Benefactor. Chapter 1136. Ning Shu smiled. The world in her eyes was really hell. People who struggled in hell gave up their souls to break free from their destinies. If one was happy, who would give up their soul? Only when one was living a miserable life would one want to exchange for the most valuable thing. What if I can't let it go? If the heavens are unfair, then I can only kill to stop killing and use violence to stop violence. Ning Shu said. Huiji said Amitba, the heavens are clear. Everyone has their own life path. We will follow this path to the end of our lives. Oh, so the heavens gave you the fate of becoming a monk? Ning Shu stared at the little monk. Ning Shu and Huiji chatted here. Zhao Bo told everyone to scram. Since you aren't willing to fight the demon sect, then leave. Zhao Bo chased these people away. But they weren't willing to leave even if he chased them away. After all, they didn't get the origin returning saint technique that they wanted. Thus, the righteous sects camped near Zhao family castle. It was obvious that they were certain that the thing was in Zhao family castle. Zhao Bo was so furious that he was about to have a brain hemorrhage. He wanted to rely on these people to fight the demon sect, but now they were fighting over a technique. Zhao Bo placed his hands behind his back and clenched his fists. He had to quickly cultivate the origin returning saint technique. Only then would he be able to shock these people. Ning Shu was still discussing fate with Huiji. At this point, Ning Shu was certain that this little novice monk had seen through the deception, which was why he wanted to leave Zhao family castle. Little monk, Huiji will be injured. Your master is right to give you this name. Ning Shu said. Amitba. Huiji bowed. Thank you, benefactor, for your praise. Then this little monk will take his leave, senior brothers. Huiji said. Little monk, didn't you promise my uncle that you would help us attack the devil sect? Monks don't lie. Ning Shu stared sharply at Huiji. Benefactor Zhao has already asked everyone to leave the Zhao family fort, so this humble monk is not lying. Huiji said in a neither servile nor overbearing manner. The corners of Ning Shu's mouth twitched. Huiji then said to Ning Shu, "Benefactor's inner demons will harm you sooner or later." Ning Shu didn't care and said, "Little monk, you keep saying that I have a heart devil. What heart devil do I have?" "Heavy hostility, heavy heart, heavy soul, heavy killing," Huiji said. "You're right. You seek eternal life in the world of light. I seek light in the world of darkness. You have paradise, but I live in hell. What I see is different from what you see." Ning Shu looked at his hands. His hands were really stained with blood, but so what? Amitabha, Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva is still in hell. This has nothing to do with where you are. Huiji retorted. "Little Master Huiji, my master invites you." A disciple of the Zhao family fort came over and said to Huiji, "Okay." Little Master Huiji followed the disciple. Ning Shu narrowed his eyes. Why was Zhaobo looking for Huiji? What's the identity of this little monk? Ning Shu asked a disciple of the Zhao family fort. Little Master Huiji's dharma is profound and his attainments are extremely high. He is the most intelligent person in the Wuyu temple in the past 100 years. The dharma was profound, but he had read 2 more Buddhist scriptures and said some specious words. Moreover, little Master Huiji can deduce all the martial arts in the world. Ning Shu, fuck, her fake secret manual must have been discovered. This little bastard is cheating. This is the real male lead. Then Zhaobo was looking for Huiji to deduce the Gue Yuan sacred technique. She wanted to see how Huiji would deduce it. The Gue Yuan sacred technique was 90% correct. Only the key and minute parts were wrong. Ning Shu went to the study room. There were several disciples guarding the door. They held scabbards in their hands and stopped Ning Shu. Master has something to do and is not seeing anyone. Ning Shu pushed the person in front of him away. "You can't go in." Ning Shu pushed open the door and walked in. Zhaobo frowned and said unhappily, "What are you doing?" "I heard that the little monk can deduce martial arts, so I came to take a look." Ning Shu sat down. "No rules. Look at what you have done today." A good morale-raising ceremony turned into this. Zhaobo felt that he had lost all his face as the alliance leader. "Uncle, these people are just a mob. We can't rely on them." Ning Shu looked at Huiji. Huiji was holding a book in his hands. It was the Gue Yuan sacred technique. Even though he was holding something that everyone in the pugilistic world dreamed of, his eyes were calm. There was no greed in his clear eyes. His wisdom surpassed many people. He didn't have any greed when he saw a treasure. This was quite scary. Just like Ning Shu. When he saw a treasure, he would definitely be excited and want it. It was human nature to chase after beautiful things and precious things. But Huiji was like this. "Tsk, did you see anything?" Ning Shu asked Huiji. Huiji shook his head. "I haven't seen anything yet. This secret manual is very complicated. According to my deduction, I haven't found anything wrong with it." "Little monk, how much energy do you need to think every day? The temple is vegetarian. What nutrition can it give you? You are overdrafting your body." Ning Shu said indifferently. "He's a child and he's still growing." Ning Shu continued to blabber. Huiji's forehead was covered in sweat and his face was a little pale, probably because he was having a hard time thinking. Shut up. Don't disturb the little master." Zhaobo glared at Ning Shu. Ning Shu shrugged and didn't say anything. Huiji put down the secret manual. He looked a little tired. "Benefactor Zhao, can you give me a few days?" "Sorry to trouble you, little Master Huiji. Please stay in Zhao Castle." Zhaobo said. Huiji bowed and left the study. Ning Shu stood up and said to Zhaobo, "Uncle, why did you give him the secret manual? With his wisdom, I am afraid that he has already memorized these things." Huiji was a person with an extremely high IQ. Zhaobo said, "It doesn't matter. There are not many people in this world who can deduce the secret manual. If this secret manual is fake, then I will have practiced it in vain. Maybe I will be possessed by the devil. In this way, the devil cult can easily injure me. Can you trust this little monk Huiji? I don't trust the other monks in Wuyu Temple, but I trust this Huiji. His Buddhist heart is firmer than any other monk. Zhaobo said. If you do something as reckless as today again, get out of Zhao Castle. How many times have I said it? Don't bring the demon sect's way of doing things here. This is not the demon sect. I know. Ning Shu walked out of the study impatiently. When he saw the little monk Huiji, his heart was full of malice. His Buddhist heart was firm, but he didn't know how firm it was. Chapter 1137. Ning Shu walked beside Huiji with her hands behind her back. She looked at Huiji from the corner of her eyes. From the side, this little monk looked really handsome. Without a hairstyle, he relied on his looks to stand out. Little monk. Huiji bowed. Female benefactor. Ning Shu was speechless. She already had an Adam's apple and her period hadn't come for many years. How did this little bastard know? Benefactor, don't be surprised. Men and women are different. Appearances can't hide these differences. How many years have you been a monk? Huiji grew up in Wuyo Temple. How many books does Wuyo Temple have? 178 Buddhist scriptures, 37 Buddhist theories, 8 Buddhist laws, and countless martial arts in the world. Huiji replied seriously. Ning Shu frowned and asked, how do you feel after reading so many scriptures? What is the foundation of Buddhism? Is it because all living beings are suffering? Do you believe in Buddhism and transcend the sea of suffering and reach the Western paradise? Ning Shu stared at Huiji and asked. She wanted to cause trouble and challenge Huiji's Buddhist heart. Ning Shu couldn't bear to hear the little monk say that there was no shore in the sea of suffering and that it was better to turn back. She had to continue walking. Everyone was forced to turn back when it was easy to talk. Amitabha. Huiji performed a Buddhist salute. Do not do evil, do good, purify one's mind, this is Buddhism. Learn from Buddha and know yourself. You are restraining yourself. Huiji said. Ning Shu waved her hands. Don't say such words. I don't understand. Have you eaten meat? No. All living beings have spirits. It is a sin to be greedy for food. Huiji replied seriously. Don't talk about evil. Just tell me if you want to eat it or not. Ning Shu looked at the little monk Huiji with a smile. I'll treat you to roast duck, roast chicken, braised salted duck, soy sauce chicken, cured meat, pine flour, tripe, dried meat, sausages, assorted plate, smoked chicken, white tripe, steamed pig with 8 treasures, duck steamed with glutinous rice, rabbit breast, vegetable python, silver fish, braised duck kidney, braised duck strips, mixed shredded duck. As Ning Shu spoke, he started to feel hungry. The little monk Huiji's expression was indifferent. Thank you, benefactor. This little monk doesn't eat these things. Ning Shu was not discouraged. He had never tasted these things before, so he naturally did not know how delicious they were. What do you eat every day? Ning Shu asked. Flagella, winter mushrooms, winter bamboo shoots, vegetarian chicken, fresh mushrooms, golden needles, wood ear, ripe chestnuts, ginkgo, cauliflower, carrots, tofu, fresh vegetables, dried fruits. The little monk said, it doesn't mean that vegetables are not nutritious. Ning Shu shrugged his shoulders. You said it yourself. All living beings in the world have spirits. When you eat these plants, you can feel the teeth of people chewing them. They are all evil. It is the same whether it is big or small. The little monk Huiji frowned and did not say anything. Do you know what pain is? Do you know what happiness is? Do you think that by chanting scriptures in the temple and knocking on the wooden fish, you can convert the world? This little monk was not old. His indifferent and mature appearance made him seem like an old man. Relying on the incense money from the pilgrims and chanting some strange words to the pilgrims, you call that converting the world? Amitabha. The karma of the past is the result of one's actions. If there is a cause, then there is an effect. If you don't do evil, then there will be no retribution. Then why do you still believe in Buddhism? Ning Shu tilted his head and looked at the little monk Huiji. Have you gone to the outside world to take a look? Is your goal to convert the world, or do you want to become Buddha? This little monk wants to convert the world. Ning Shu said with a smile. If you want to convert the world, then you have to walk into the mortal world. Those who are struggling in the mortal world are the ones you should convert. Or are you afraid that if you enter the mortal world and get involved with the mortal world, you will be consigned to eternal damnation? Ning Shu said calmly. Benefactor, are you angry about what happened last night or what happened during the morale-raising ceremony? Is that why you want to destroy this little monk's faith? Huiji said calmly. Just that you can tell. You are unhappy, very unhappy. Ning Shu looked at the little monk. What is the meaning of living like this? Then what is the meaning of living like benefactor? Ning Shu spread his hands. For me, living is the most important thing, just like how you want to convert the world. If you don't go to hell, how can you convert the world? Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva even went to hell. If hell is not empty, he will not become a Buddha. Ning Shu said to Huiji in a serious tone, if I were you, I would go to the mortal world and walk around. What is the meaning of chanting Buddhist scriptures every day? The outside world is much more interesting than Buddhist scriptures. Amitabha, people are greedy for pleasure. When they go to the mortal world, what changes is their mind? Huiji ignored Ning Shu's temptation. This little monk knows that there are too many things in the outside world. If your mind is corroded by the mortal world, how can you be considered an enlightened monk? What is the use of reading so many Buddhist scriptures? Ning Shu said disdainfully. Don't forget your original intention. As the most intelligent monk in 100 years, you don't even understand this? Amitabha, benefactor, you don't have to provoke this little monk. Even if this little monk can't convert the world, I will convert myself first. Huiji made a Buddhist bow and said lightly, to convert oneself, to know oneself. Doctors don't treat themselves. The most difficult thing in the world is to know oneself. Ning Shu couldn't convince Huiji, and Huiji's theory didn't appeal to Ning Shu. A monk who didn't worry about food and clothing said that he wanted to convert the world? Little monk, I can guarantee that you will never become a Buddha. You will. Your Buddha heart seems to be crystal clear and indestructible, but it's not even comparable to a stone. A stone that has been rolling in the world of mortals has its sharp edges smoothed out by bumps. No matter where it is, it will be able to remain calm. Ning Shu thought, damn, it was really not easy to destroy a person's faith. But this kind of monk was a real monk. Persevering in one's own heart, not many people could do this. Thank you, benefactor, for your advice. Huiji will keep it in mind. Huiji made a Buddhist bow to Ning Shu. Ning Shu hammered his chest, feeling inexplicably stifled. Little monk, with your talent, you can do other things after renouncing asceticism. Your contribution to the world will be greater. It will be more useful than chanting sutras and knocking on wooden fish. Amitabha, Huiji is only outstanding because he read 2 more Buddhist sutras. Huiji has no other talent. Ning Shu waved his hand, too lazy to talk to him. He turned and left. Benefactor? Ning Shu waved his hand without looking back. Don't try to persuade me to repent. You can't say that what I do is wrong. Little monk, I have more merit than you. Damn, the feeling of showing off is really too good. Why did he try to persuade me to repent? If I can't convert him, I'll just cremate him. Teaching people to do good is merit. Don't forget that eliminating evil is also merit. Chapter 1138. Huiji returned to his temporary residence. Monk Huikong saw Huiji's tired face and hurriedly asked, Shitty, what's wrong? Nothing. Why did Alliance Head Zhao call you? Monk Huikong asked. Huiji shook his head. Nothing. Shixiang, you guys can leave first. I still have something to do. I want to beg for alms all the way to Mount Song to participate in the martial arts convention. Huiji said, Do you want to train? Monk Huikong said, You're still young, you definitely can't resist those temptations. You're very intelligent, but Shixiang doesn't want your Buddhist heart to be polluted. Once it's covered in dust, it won't be pure anymore. Monk Huikong didn't agree. If you don't go back with me, the abbot will definitely punish me. Shixiang, I'll definitely be fine. In at most half a year, I'll return to Wuyo Temple. You guys leave first. I'm afraid something big is going to happen. When the time comes, I'll ask Master for forgiveness. Huiji took out a piece of paper and wrote a full page of Buddhist scriptures on it. Shixiang, please give this to Master. Huiji, you're the hope of our Wuyo Temple's 100 years of prosperity. Don't waste your own future. Huiji said, don't worry, Shixiang will take good care of myself. Sigh. Monk Hui Kong sighed and said Amitabha. His expression was a bit worried. Clearly, he was worried about Huiji entering the world. However, under the urging of Huiji, Monk Hui Kong brought the monks and left Zhao Castle. Ning Shu nibbled on a fruit and strolled around Zhao Castle. He saw Huiji send the monks of Wuyo Temple away. Ning Shu casually walked over. Why didn't you go with them? Without adults by your side, it's easy for a delicate child like you to be kidnapped. Amitabha. The little monk Huiji bowed solemnly. Benefactor, I feel that you are filled with malice towards me. Ning Shu shrugged. Do I have one? I don't think so. No matter how ugly the world is, there are still many beautiful things. Huiji looked at Ning Shu. Ning Shu nodded repeatedly. I agree. Little monk, since your senior brothers have all left, I'll treat you to a meal. Let's make something together. Ning Shu threw the fruit pit far away. Who is it? Who threw it? Who is so wicked? An exasperated voice sounded. Amitabha. Thank you, benefactor. This little monk is a bit tired and needs to rest. Huiji politely rejected Ning Shu's ill-intentioned invitation. Ning Shu stretched out his finger. She was a little perverted. Why did she want to destroy beautiful and cute things? Forget it, he shouldn't tease this little monk. Perhaps this little monk could become a senior monk in the future and help people get rid of the confusion and helplessness in their hearts. Mei Wu asked Ning Shu, Miss, do you like that monk? Ning Shu was speechless. Mei Wu had such a strong taste. No, I don't like him. Ning Shu shook his head. They each had their own beliefs and couldn't talk about the same thing. Besides, she had come and gone from so many worlds. She was at least 100 years old. How could she like a little kid? Once the mission was completed, he would leave this world. Ning Shu didn't intend to build any relationship. Mei Wu didn't say anything and just followed Ning Shu. At night, Ning Shu put on his night clothes and sneaked into Zhao Bo's study. He turned the vase on the shelf and triggered the mechanism. A hidden weapon flew towards Ning Shu. Ning Shu rolled on the ground to avoid the mechanism and grabbed the book in the hidden compartment. There's a thief and an assassin. Ning Shu had just escaped from the study when the whole Zhao Castle was in an uproar. Many people came to Ning Shu's side. Ning Shu jumped over the wall and escaped from the Zhao Castle. He ran towards the sects stationed outside the Zhao Castle. Many people had noticed the situation at the Zhao family fort and were looking at it one after another. They wondered what had happened at the Zhao Castle. Many people couldn't help but think about the secret manual, Gui Yuan Divine Skill. Ning Shu repeated the same trick and threw the secret manual at the sections. Then he took off his night clothes and pretended to be chasing after the assassin. Ning Shu greeted Zhao Bo, Uncle, someone is causing trouble again. I saw a black shadow just now but lost it. These people from the devil sect are really persistent. Zhao Bo glanced at Ning Shu. His expression changed unpredictably under the light of the torch. People from the devil sect? Ning Shu asked in surprise. It should be the people from the devil sect. Could it be that they still haven't given up on the secret manual? Ning Shu thought for a while. Uncle, go and see if it's lost. It doesn't matter if it's lost. It's fake anyway. Ning Shu was speechless. People started to like to fake things in this era. There was no trust between people. It's good that it's fake. These people from the devil's sect went for wool and came home shorn. However, Uncle, I don't think it's the people from the devil's sect who did it. There's another person who knows about the secret manual. It's the little monk Huiji. Maybe it was the little monk Huiji who stole it. Ning Shu said sneakily. Benefactor. The little monk Huiji's voice faintly sounded. Ning Shu turned his head to look. You're here. It's a bit dark so I didn't see you. Other than the little master Huiji, only you and I know about this matter. Are you the one who did it? Zhao Bo finally said what was in his heart. He wants to cultivate, it's not that I don't agree. It's just that we don't know if it's real or fake. We need to know if this secret manual is real first. Ning Shu was speechless. Am I stupid or did I eat too much? Fortunately, I stole it back from the devil sect. Now I have to steal it again. I know that my cultivation uncle will definitely let me cultivate. Why would I do such a useless thing? I'm willing to believe you. The Zhao family manor will be handed over to you in the future. Thank you, too. Ning Shu said obediently. After a while, the Zhao family fortress quieted down. However, outside the Zhao family fortress, there was an uproar. The reason was that when a person was peeing, he found that he had stepped on something. Then, he put it in his arms and went back to his tent to take a look. Damn, it was a secret manual of a divine technique. His heart was beating wildly. He was afraid that others would find it, so he quickly hid it. After getting something precious, people would be very nervous and in disbelief. However, he was still found by others. In order to fight for the secret manual, they killed him. They didn't care whether the secret manual was real or not. They just killed the person and took the secret manual. In any case, this secret manual was like a bait, making the people stationed outside the Zhao family fortress kill each other. In the face of such a temptation, not everyone could hold on. A few days later, Ning Shu heard that several people had died. Now, the secret manual was missing. It was said that it was stolen by a disciple of the everlasting sect. Now, all the sects were looking for the disciple who stole the secret manual. Chapter 1139. Xiaobo heaved a sigh of relief. No matter what, these people were no longer focusing on Zhao family fort. However, Xiaobo still had a suspicion in his heart. Why did the people from the demon sect do things like this? They even lost the secret manual. Only an idiot would do something like this. However, it was beneficial to him. He wanted to succeed in cultivating the first volume of Gui Yuan Divine Technique before the martial arts world election. If he succeeded, he could be re-elected as the martial arts world's chief. At that time, Xiaobo was becoming more and more distrustful of this nephew who came back from the demon sect. Amitabha. Huiji walked to Ning Shu's side. Benefactor, don't you feel guilty for doing this? Little monk, don't talk nonsense. Ning Shu stared at Huiji. I didn't do anything. Huiji stared at Ning Shu with his clear eyes. His eyelashes were very long and reflected in his eyes. Even if you stare at me, I didn't do it. Ning Shu spread his hands. Aren't you tired of staring at me every day? Ning Shu stretched. It seemed that it was time to leave Zhao family fort. Before he left, he had to set a fire. He had to hurry back and take the medicine. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to change back. He would really become a transvestite with breasts and an Adam's apple. Little monk, do you know martial arts? Ning Shu asked. Huiji nodded. A little. Ning Shu rolled his eyes. This little monk was very humble. He was probably an expert. However, why did he snatch his bag? Ning Shu wanted to spar with Huiji, but after thinking about it, he gave up. Why would he bully a child? Ning Shu turned and left. Amitabha. Ning Shu rolled his eyes. You won't be able to reform me, a witch from the demon sect. Ning Shu asked Mei Wu to pack his things and prepare to leave. Mei Wu was very happy and quickly packed his things. Ning Shu went to the woodshed and grabbed some firewood. He poured oil on it and lit it, then threw it into Xiaobo's study. Then she set the whole woodshed on fire and fled with Mei Wu. Before he left, he even carved some words on the wall at the gate of the Zhao family fortress. Holding the dagger, he concentrated his qi into his dantian and engraved the words, Xiaobo is a scoundrel. I will take back the devil cult's possession sooner or later. These words were engraved very deeply and very big. Then Ning Shu and Mei Wu mounted the horses and galloped away. Everyone in the Zhao family fort was busy putting out the fire and did not care about Ning Shu who had run away. Ning Shu turned his head and saw the blazing flames in the direction of the Zhao family fortress. The flames illuminated the sky red. Hiya! Ning Shu squeezed the horse's belly and raised the horsewhip. The sound of the horse's hooves was hurried. When they passed by a small town to rest, Ning Shu heard many people discussing the Zhao family fort's fire. Many people guessed that the martial arts alliance master had taken something from the devil cult, so the devil cult used this method to take revenge on the Zhao family fortress. Some people whispered that the alliance master had something that could make people become immortals. Once they got it, they could ascend and become immortals or gods. Ning Shu was speechless. This rumor was really outrageous. Ascension in broad daylight? The holy devil cult probably spread the news. The more bizarre it was, the faster it spread. After all, Zhao Bo was the martial arts alliance master. The more people focused their attention on Zhao Bo, the more advantageous it would be for the devil cult. Moreover, the righteous faction did not have time to attack the devil cult. They were all muddle-headed and did not know whether to continue tracking the Wuji sect disciple who had escaped with the secret manual, or to find Zhao Bo to get the secret manual. However, these people were prepared. They sent people to track down the secret manual sect disciple while keeping an eye on the Zhao family fortress. At the same time, a kill order was issued by Zhao Bo himself. The target was Zhao Yi, who used to be a member of the devil cult called Qi. If anyone could kill Zhao Yi, they would get 500 taels of gold and become a disciple of the Zhao family fortress. Ning Shu saw the kill order. 500 taels of gold was a huge sum. Once Ning Shu returned to the holy devil cult, he did not do anything but go to Elder Shen to ask for medicine. "Hurry up and give me the medicine." After not seeing him for a while, Ning Shu felt that Elder Shen's hair had decreased again. Moreover, the number of medicine men had also decreased. Did he torture someone to death? What medicine? Elder Shen's face was filled with confusion. Ning Shu was expressionless. He touched the thing protruding from his neck. "The medicine to eat this." Elder Shen shook his head. "There is no such medicine." Ning Shu was speechless. "You said to eat medicine." "I was just saying. I am going to tell Brother Sect Master that you want to turn me into a medicine man and even said that you want to transform me into a man." Elder Shen was speechless. "Take it. Twice a day." Ning Shu heaved a sigh of relief and took the medicine. He could not really be neither a man nor a woman like this. After returning to the holy devil cult, Ning Shu began to cultivate. After a while, it would be the martial arts world's general election. Ning Shu was still preparing to participate in the martial arts world's general election. Of course, it was more to cause destruction. After taking the medicine for a period of time, Ning Shu's body became normal. He settled down to cultivate. There was already enough qi energy in his dantian to form a qi form. A dragon-shaped qi energy. Now, her strength had increased by a large margin. Ning Shu and Yi Hua asked for a group of people to prepare to participate in the martial arts world's general election. After all, the holy devil cult was also a member of the Jianghu. How could they not attend such a grand event of the Jianghu? Yi Hua looked at Ning Shu indifferently. "Haven't you played enough?" "Sect Master, I am not playing." Ning Shu hurriedly said. "Everything I do is for the holy devil cult. This time, I will definitely win glory for our holy devil cult." Ning Shu said. "This time, we are going to see the strength of these sections. Know yourself, know your enemy, and you will not be defeated in 100 battles." Yi Hua did not say anything. Ning Shu waved his hand. Ning Shu could only leave the main hall. After that, Yi Hua sent a group of people to Ning Shu. Everyone in the holy devil cult was wearing black clothes. Wherever they went, they would be very conspicuous. Ning Shu sat in a luxurious carriage and slowly headed towards Mount Song where the martial arts world's general election would be held. However, on the way to Mount Song he met the travel-worn little monk Huiji. The little monk was alone. He was the only child. The clothes he was wearing were very old and seemed to be covered with a layer of dust. Ning Shu was sitting by the window of the inn. When he looked down, he saw a manservant from a rich family bowing and nodding his head while talking to the little monk Huiji. After saying a few words, the little monk followed the manservant and left. Ning Shu jumped down from the window and followed the two. When they arrived at a big house, the manservant brought Huiji into the house. Ning Shu narrowed his eyes and circulated the energy in his dantian. He stepped on the wall and flipped over the top of the wall. This house was not small. Ning Shu saw the manservant bring the little monk Huiji into the house. Ning Shu jumped on the roof and opened the roof tiles to see the situation inside the house. "Little master, you finally came. I think I have been possessed." A fat man grabbed the little monk Huiji's hand and pressed it against his chest. He had an expression of enjoyment on his face. Ning Shu was speechless. "Amitba. Benefactor, please let go." After all, the little monk knew martial arts. He immediately retracted his hand. "Even your voice is so pleasant to hear." The pig-headed man looked at the little monk Huiji with an infatuated expression. Chapter 1140. Huiji bowed. "Since the benefactor is fine, I will take my leave." Huiji turned around to open the door, but he realized that it was locked from the outside. He couldn't open it at all. "Little master, with your body, it is a pity to be a monk. If you follow me, I can guarantee that you will live a good life. It is much better than being a monk." The perverted pig rubbed his hands and got close to Huiji. Huiji said fiercely, "Young master, please have some dignity. I am a Buddhist. Do you want to blaspheme the Buddha?" The perverted guy's body trembled. "Your voice is so nice, so nice." Say it again, say it again." Ning Shu was speechless. Huiji met a pervert. Moreover, he was a pervert. The perverted guy got close to Huiji. Huiji kicked the perverted guy's stomach. The perverted guy's stomach shook, causing Huiji to take 2 steps back. Ning Shu raised his eyebrows. This perverted guy actually knew martial arts. "Interesting, I like to play like this." The perverted guy grabbed Huiji's arm and the two of them started to fight. Ning Shu couldn't help but cover his eyes. The little monk's martial arts were really bad. He thought that he was just being humble, but he didn't expect that his martial arts were really bad. Very quickly, Huiji was controlled. Huiji's expression was a little panicked and he looked really weak. After all, he was just an 8-year-old kid. Facing such a situation, he was stunned. Ning Shu shrugged his shoulders. "At this time, would the Buddha save you? If you couldn't even save yourself, how could you save the world?" Ning Shu jumped down from the roof. He kicked open the window and jumped into the house. "Who is it?" The perverted guy looked at Ning Shu in annoyance. But when he saw Ning Shu, he started to drool. Ning Shu was dressed in red with a bell tied to her waist. She looked very beautiful. "Another one. Good." At this moment, the wretched man was unbuttoning his pants, revealing an indescribable part. Ning Shu was speechless. What an assortment of tastes. Is he an omnivore? "Female benefactor, hurry up and leave." The little monk Huiji and Ning Shu shouted. "Oh, are you going to sacrifice yourself to save me?" Ning Shu was speechless. People should take good care of themselves. Ning Shu pulled out the dagger tied to his calf and appeared in front of the wretched man in a flash. With a flash of the blade, blood spurted out. Ning Shu had directly cut off the vulgar man's manhood. The wretched man let out an inhuman howl of pain. Ning Shu grabbed the little monk Huiji's collar and jumped out of the window. He stepped on the wall and flipped over the wall, heading back to the inn. After returning to the inn, Ning Shu let go of the little monk Huiji's collar. "Thank you, benefactor, for saving my life." Huiji and Ning Shu clasped their hands together and bowed. "Didn't you want to save the world? Why do you still need someone to save you?" "TSK. Ning Shu shook his head and said. Huiji looked at Ning Shu. "You are Zhao Yi?" Huiji didn't care about Ning Shu's identity. "No matter what, thank you, benefactor, for saving my life. The head of all evil, why don't you save him?" Ning Shu looked at Ning Shu with a smile. Huiji was speechless. "Why are you alone?" Ning Shu tore off a drumstick and handed it to Huiji. "There's only meat here, nothing else." "Thank you, benefactor, but this little monk doesn't eat meat." Ning Shu stared at Huiji. "If you are in a desperate situation and this drumstick is the only thing you can eat, if you don't eat it, only death awaits you. Then would you eat it or die?" "This little monk chooses death." Ning Shu was speechless. For a moment, Ning Shu felt that he had no integrity. But living was Ning Shu's most important thing. As long as it wasn't something that would hurt others, Ning Shu would choose the choice that was beneficial to himself. And Huiji would sacrifice himself for a righteous cause and choose to believe. So Ning Shu didn't understand why he had to cut off his flesh and feed it to the eagle. However, everyone had different principles and beliefs. Prepare some vegetarian food for this little monk, Ning Shu said to the waiter. Thank you, benefactor. Huiji sat down and didn't say anything when he saw Mei Wu, who was guarding Ning Shu. The waiter served a bowl of vegetarian noodles. Huiji bowed. Thank you, benefactor. The little monk ate very elegantly. In a short while, he finished the bowl of noodles. He was obviously hungry. Why are you alone? Ning Shu asked while drinking tea. I've been training all the time. Oh, how does it feel? Ning Shu asked. The little monk had lost weight. Obviously, he had suffered a lot. All living beings suffer. The world is like purgatory, Huiji said. It's impossible to enlighten the people of the world. But this little monk still wants to enlighten the people of the world. Ksitsagarbha Bodhisattva also knew that hell couldn't be empty, but he still fell into hell resolutely, Huiji said. It's good that you are happy. Continue to work hard. Ning Shu had experienced so many worlds, but he had never encountered a beautiful world. If there was happiness, there would be misfortune. Maybe all of them were happy. Some people's happiness was built on other people's pain. But this guy's Buddhist heart was very firm. Are you going to Mount Song? The small monk asked Ning Shu. Ning Shu nodded. Can this little monk travel with you? Have you thought it through? Ning Shu said indifferently. I am a member of the Holy Devil cult. Aren't you afraid that others will say that you are colluding with the Holy Devil cult if you travel with us? This little monk has a clear conscience. If you want to follow, then follow. After resting in the inn for a night, they continued their journey the next day. Huiji followed behind the group on foot. Ning Shu, who was sitting in the carriage, turned around to look at him. Huiji was carrying a cloth bag and wearing dirty cloth shoes. What an ascetic monk! He was so harsh on himself. The group arrived at a small town near Mount Song. When Ning Shu's group arrived at the small town, they immediately attracted strange and vigilant gazes. This was a gathering of the pugilistic world's righteous path. Why did people from the Holy Devil cult come? Were they here to cause trouble? Junior brother Huiji. When Monk Hui Kong saw Huiji, he had tears in his eyes. After such a long time, there was no news of this little junior brother at all. This made the people of Wu Yu Temple very anxious. Why are you with the people from the Holy Devil cult? Monk Hui Kong asked Huiji. He even stretched out his hand to protect Huiji behind him. Ning Shu stuck his head out of the carriage. It is like what you saw. The little monk is colluding with our Holy Devil cult. Don't talk nonsense. Monk Hui Kong immediately retorted. Senior brother, I met them on the way. After saving me, I followed behind them. Little monk Huiji explained. Monk Hui Kong was still very vigilant. He said to Huiji, Junior brother, the abbot is also here. Quickly go and see him. The old man has been worried about you. Little monk Huiji gave Ning Shu a Buddhist bow. Thank you, female benefactor, for saving my life. Ning Shu propped up his chin and said lazily, You still say that you want to convert the world. Our Holy Devil cult is not human. You avoid us like snakes and scorpions when you see us? Chapter 1141. Little monk, come and convert us. We have so many bad people, Ning Shu said. Didn't they say that all living things are equal? Huiji. Benefactor, I'll take my leave. Huiji turned and left. Little monk, is the meat soup delicious? Ning Shu shouted at Huiji's back. Next time, I'll treat you to roast chicken, not chicken noodle soup. Junior brother, did you break your precepts? Hui Kong hurriedly asked Huiji. Huiji shook his head calmly. Witch, don't talk nonsense. Ning Shu scolded. Then he turned to Huiji and said, Don't let that witch's words affect your Buddhist heart. I won't. Ning Shu's group stayed at the inn. However, wherever they went, they were eyed covetously by the righteous sections. Ning Shu ate as usual, drank as usual, and slept as usual. However, Mei Wu increased his vigilance. People from the demonic sect swaggered into the righteous sect's territory and were surrounded by righteous sections. They were really courting death. The martial arts competition was in a few days. Ning Shu, dressed in red, walked at the front of the group and headed for the arena. The arena was very big. There were 2 huge gongs and drums on both sides. Flags fluttered in the wind. It was a solemn scene. The arena was surrounded by onlookers. Zhao Bo sat at the top. The sects and clans sat in their designated positions. However, there was no place for the demonic sect. Ning Shu flew onto the arena expressionlessly. Is this how you treat your guests? I came to the martial arts competition on behalf of the sect master, but there's no place for me. If you don't arrange a place for me, don't even think about the selection today. You're from the demonic sect. Why are you participating in the martial arts competition? There's no place for the demonic sect, an elder of the Wuji sect said coldly. The demonic sect is also a part of the Jianghu. Why can't they participate? Did the martial arts conference clearly state that the demonic sect members can't participate? Ning Shu said expressionlessly. It meant that all sects could participate, but the demonic sect was excluded. Furthermore, the demonic sect had never participated in the martial arts world general election. Is the demon sect going to cause trouble at this time? Zhao Bo, who was sitting at the head of the table, said with a dignified expression. Are you that afraid of our holy devil cult? I am just here to watch the battle. What are you afraid of? You have so many people, why are you afraid of us? Coward. Zhao Bo stared sharply at Ning Shu and said, arrange a seat. Ning Shu clapped his hands. That's right. Ning Shu walked to his seat with his hands clasped behind his back. He sat on the chair and waved at Mei Wu. Mei Wu took out a plate of melon seeds and peanuts. Ning Shu grabbed a handful of melon seeds and said while eating, hurry up. Zhao Bo stared at Mei Wu, who was holding a plate of melon seeds, with some doubt between his brows. Demonic sect which, you actually dared to injure my sect's disciple. The sect leader of Mount Song sect suddenly stood up. Ning Shu threw away the melon seeds and rolled his eyes at the sect leader of Mount Song sect. Which disciple did I injure? Stand up and let me see. My nephew can't even get out of bed right now. He's on the verge of death. The witch is vicious and merciless. She crippled my nephew's manhood. The sect leader of Mount Song sect was abnormally furious. Ning Shu patted the dust off the melon seeds on his hand and stared at the sect leader of Mount Song sect with a strange expression. The sect leader of Mount Song sect was baffled. He shouted, you can't refute it, right? TSK, I'm just wondering if it's because of my family background. Your nephew is not only lustful, but he also has a fetish. Do you also have this problem? Ning Shu's face was full of disdain. That filthy man even wanted to offend me. If I don't cut him off, are you going to keep him for the new year? Nonsense, my nephew isn't that kind of person. The sect leader of Mount Song sect felt the strange gazes of the surrounding people, so he anxiously quibbled with a pale face. You witch. Not only did you injure him, you even used this kind of absurd thing to slander my nephew. Ning Shu raised his chin and rolled his eyes. Why don't you say that your nephew is elegant and a gentleman? Today, this sect leader will take revenge for my nephew and cripple you witch. The sect leader of Mount Song sect was about to rush over to Ning Shu when he was stopped by the others. Ning Shu stretched his neck. Young miss, there are so many of them. I reckon we won't be able to defeat them. Mei Wu held the plate of fruits and said, I'll sweep them away. Mei Wu, Amit Ba. The little monk Huiji stood up. Benefactor, that girl is speaking the truth. Huiji. Monk Huiji said to Huiji, don't worry about her. She's a member of the demonic sect. Senior martial brother, this junior martial brother was there at the time. The little monk Huiji clearly described the situation at that time, causing the people present to look at the sect leader of Mount Song sect with strange gazes. When the monks of Weo Temple heard that someone wanted to do something to a Buddhist disciple and force a Buddhist disciple to do something indescribable, their expressions became very interesting. Sect leader of Mount Song sect, Our Wuyo Temple wants an explanation for this matter. The abbot of Wuyo Temple said with a cold face. Even a monk wanted to do something, this was simply out of control. That's impossible. Amitba, monks don't lie. The little monk bowed and said. Ning Shu nodded. If it wasn't for me, this little monk would have broken his sexual abstinence. Huiji, the monks of Wuyo Temple, that's enough. If there's anything, settle it in private. This is the martial arts assembly, Xiaobo said. The sect leader of Mount Song could only sit down indignantly and stare at Ning Shu with eyes as sharp as knives. Ning Shu, why should I be afraid of you? But I have a question. Isn't the person beside you always with Zhao Yi? You're talking about that idiot Zhao Yi? I arranged for this person to be by his side, but he foolishly believed it. Zhao Yi was killed by Mei Wu. Everything in Zhao family fort was done by Mei Wu. It was all done by him. Mei Wu glanced at Ning Shu and didn't say anything. He silently took the blame that Ning Shu threw at him. Zhao Yi was killed? Zhao Bo's expression was strange. Of course. He grew up eating the demonic sex rice and even stole the demonic sex things. If I didn't kill him, would I have kept him alive for the new year? Ning Shu said matter-of-factly. By the way, remember to give me the 500 taels of gold. Don't think that I don't know that the things are in your hands. The demonic sex things are the demonic sex things. They will be taken back sooner or later. Ning Shu looked at Zhao Bo sharply. Zhao Bo's expression didn't change. The demonic sect always says that the things are in my hands, but I don't have anything in my hands. I swear to God. Ning Shu shook his head. Don't swear so easily. It won't be good if you get slapped in the face. Let's start the martial arts assembly. Zhao Bo didn't continue to argue with Ning Shu. Ning Shu sat down, grabbed a handful of sunflower seeds, and began to watch the martial arts competition in the arena. The rules of the martial arts competition were that each sect would fight against each other. The winner would fight against the previous martial arts assembly chief, and the next martial arts assembly chief would be chosen. Of course, it also depended on the person's character. If too many people objected to him being the martial arts assembly chief, there was nothing he could do. Chapter 1142. Ning Shu munched on sunflower seeds as he watched the competition on the stage. He felt bored. Basically, it was a fight between you and I, one with a sword and one with a saber. Occasionally, they would spit out blood and suffer some internal injuries. Although Ning Shu felt bored, the others were enthusiastic and cheered for their sect's contestants. The Holy Devil sect led by Ning Shu was indifferent. I'm not eating sunflower seeds anymore. I'm thirsty. Ning Shu placed the sunflower seeds in his hand back into the fruit bowl. Mei Wu took out 2 oranges from the cloth bag and gave them to Ning Shu. Ning Shu took the oranges and ate while asking Mei Wu, "What do you think of their strength?" "It's too troublesome. Why don't they just kill them?" Mei Wu said directly. That was why the demonic Dao's evil methods were ruthless. There were unwritten rules in the martial world. However, the demonic Dao's people didn't care about rules. Although the competition was boring, it was almost over soon. The last few people would compete, and the winner would compete with the previous alliance leader. Ha! An extremely arrogant laugh sounded. A white figure flew onto the stage. Everyone looked at the person on the stage. It was a handsome man in white clothes. It's Zhu Yang. Hasn't the everlasting sex Zhu Yang been missing for a long time? I heard that he has the origin returning sacred art. Ning Shu narrowed his eyes and looked at Zhu Yang on the stage. Zhu Yang's face was slowly filled with satisfaction. Could it be that this guy succeeded in cultivating it? The origin returning sacred art was divided into 5 volumes. The first 2 volumes were fine, but there were some changes in the last 3 volumes. In Yi Hua's words, the first 2 volumes were correct. If one succeeded in cultivating it, they would be eager to cultivate the later volumes. It was very likely that they would go berserk and burst their blood vessels. This Zhu Yang had been hiding and appearing when everyone was looking at him. "Zhu Yang, where have you been recently?" The everlasting sex sect master asked Zhu Yang. Zhu Yang said arrogantly, Thank you for your concern, Sect Master, and for the boundless sect's pursuit. Zhu Yang's gaze swept across everyone present. The everlasting Sect Master frowned. Zhu Yang wants to experience everyone's prowess. Zhu Yang stared at the winners on the stage. Of course, all of you can come at me together, Zhu Yang said calmly, not even mentioning how pretentious he was. Unable to tolerate Zhu Yang's arrogance, someone stood out. Let me see how powerful you are. Zhu Yang sneered. He stretched out his hand and appeared in front of that person in a flash. He grabbed that person's neck and snapped it. Zhu Yang threw the corpse off the stage. His attack was so ruthless that it took a person's life in an instant. This caused the expressions of the people on the stage to change. Zhu Yang said to them, all of you can come at me together. Zhu Yang's eyes were filled with killing intent. The few of them looked at each other and raised their weapons to attack Zhu Yang. It was probably because he had been hunted down during this period of time, so he felt depressed hiding. Now that he had mastered the origin-returning sacred skill, he wanted to take revenge and vent the resentment in his heart. Zhu Yang killed one of them, snatched the sword from his hand, and slit the throats of several others. Several people fell to the ground with blood spurting from their necks. How dare you, impudent! When the crowd saw how ruthless Zhu Yang was, killing several people in one move, they were incomparably furious. At the same time, they were shocked by Zhu Yang's strength. After disappearing for a period of time, he actually had such high martial arts attainments. Ning Shu ate the orange expressionlessly. Anyway, it had nothing to do with her. There were plenty of people who would take care of this fellow. Zhu Yang cupped his hands towards Xiao Bo, who was sitting high up. Now, do I have the ability to challenge the alliance leader? Xiao Bo stood up expressionlessly. Logically speaking, that is the case. Then, please advise me, alliance leader. Zhu Yang cupped his hands and said without any sincerity. Xiao Bo went up the stage and looked at the bloodstains on the ground. This is a martial arts competition. Why did you kill people? How is this any different from the demon sect? Hey, what does this have to do with the demon sect? We won't take the blame for this. Ning Shu threw away the orange peel and said, we were just watching. We didn't do anything. If someone like you were to become the alliance leader of the martial arts world, it would simply be a calamity for the righteous path. Xiao Bo said righteously. Zhu Yang was just a young and impetuous person who couldn't control himself when he gained power. How could he compare to Xiao Bo, who was shrewd and ruthless? Moreover, Xiao Bo had also been the alliance leader of the martial arts world for a period of time. He was more popular than Zhu Yang. Zhu Yang's aura was suppressed by Xiao Bo. He was annoyed and attacked Xiao Bo first. Xiao Bo stretched out his hand and hit Zhu Yang's chest with one palm. The other palm hit Zhu Yang's dantian. Zhu Yang spat out a mouthful of blood and fell to the ground. Xiao Bo didn't let Zhu Yang go. He ruthlessly hit Zhu Yang's lower abdomen. Zhu Yang spat out another mouthful of blood. His expression was incomparably painful. You crippled my dantian and meridians. Zhu Yang looked at Xiao Bo with hatred. His eyes were filled with helplessness and shock. He didn't expect Xiao Bo to be so powerful. I only crippled your dantian and spared your life. People like you who possess great power will only bring disaster to the world. You'd better take care of yourself. Xiao Bo said indifferently. Ning Shu curled his lips. Why else would people say that old foxes were crafty? Old ginger was spicier. Xiao Bo's move had directly destroyed Zhu Yang's martial arts foundation. Was there anything more painful than being unable to cultivate in the martial arts world? Without the ability to protect himself, anyone could kill him. Moreover, he had arrogantly killed several people just now. These people were the elites of the various sections. It would be strange if they let Zhu Yang go. Xiao Bo even received a commendation for being benevolent and not killing anyone. Alliance leader, alliance leader. The surrounding people shouted in unison. Xiao Bo waved his hand. Thank you for everyone's love. From today onwards, wait. Ning Shu flew onto the stage. After watching for so long, I'll also spar with you. I can't have made this trip for nothing, right? Demon sect which, What does us righteous sects choosing the alliance leader of the martial arts world have to do with you? The demon sect is here to cause trouble. In an instant, these sects pulled out their swords and looked at the people from the demon sect with vigilance. Ning Shu's expression did not change. I've long heard that alliance leader Zhao's martial arts are powerful. In addition, you've cultivated the Gui Yuan holy technique, making you #1 in the world. I'd like to experience it for myself. What I cultivate is my Zhao family fort's internal cultivation technique. It's not the Gui Yuan holy technique. You've repeatedly said that I have the Gui Yuan holy technique, but you just want to cause chaos in the righteous sections. Zhao Bo stood in front of Ning Shu and straightened his chest. He looked like a benevolent and righteous hero. How shameless! Ning Shu said with disdain. Come and spar with me. Could it be that alliance leader Zhao is dozens of years old, yet you're afraid of a little girl like me? Are you afraid that you can't beat me? I don't bully the weak. Moreover, you're a girl. Zhao Bo did not put Ning Shu in his eyes. Chapter 1143. Ning Shu and Mei Wu waved their hands. Mei Wu pulled out the sword at his waist and threw it to Ning Shu. Ning Shu grabbed the sword hilt and didn't bother to say anything to Zhao Bo. He raised his sword and attacked. Zhao Bo dodged Ning Shu's attack and said with an ashen face, "The witch from the demonic sect is courting death. Come and kill me." Ning Shu stabbed at Zhao Bo. Zhao Bo also became serious and fought with Ning Shu. His face became more and more serious. The others saw that the witch from the demonic sect was evenly matched with the chief. Were the people from the demonic sect so powerful? Zhu Yang killed a few people with a flip of his hand and Zhao Bo crippled Zhu Yang's martial arts. Now, the witch from the demonic sect was actually evenly matched with the chief. Did this mean that the witch from the demonic sect was actually stronger than the chief? Ning Shu mobilized the energy in his dantian and slashed at Zhao Bo's sword. Zhao Bo's body sank and he felt as if a huge rock was pressing down on him. The witch from the demonic sect was so strong. Zhao Bo also became serious and his body emitted a powerful energy. It was unknown if it was because it was difficult to control this energy, but the veins on his forehead bulged. Ning Shu moved his neck. Are you serious now? Zhao Bo took the initiative to attack Ning Shu. This time, Zhao Bo's body was much lighter and his attacks were more lethal. Sparks flew when the sword and saber collided. Although Zhao Bo's explosive power was very strong, it was likely that he had not grasped this power. Although he had the power, he did not know how to use it. Ning Shu's advantage was that he could control his own strength and use it as if it was his own arm. Ning Shu kicked Zhao Bo's chest. Zhao Bo was kicked out of the arena and spat out a mouthful of blood. Ning Shu flew down the arena and stabbed his sword towards Zhao Bo's heart. Zhao Bo rolled on the ground, and Ning Shu's sword stabbed into the ground. Ning Shu pulled out his sword and stabbed at Zhao Bo. Ning Shu flicked Zhao Bo's sword away, kicked Zhao Bo to the ground, and stabbed his sword into Zhao Bo's heart. Zhao Bo tightly grasped the blade to prevent his heart from being pierced. The blade of the sword cut his hand, and blood mixed with his palm flowed out. Hand over the origin returning sacred technique. If I'm not mistaken, you've cultivated the origin returning sacred technique. Ning Shu's expression was fierce. The breeze blew her hair, and the bell on her waist made a crisp sound. She made people feel that she was indeed a demoness. Amitabha. Huiji stood out and bowed. Benefactor, revenge breeds revenge. Shut up, go and play. Don't interfere in the matters of adults. Ning Shu didn't want to listen to Amitabha. Ning Shu narrowed his eyes. He might as well kill Zhao Bo. Previously he didn't have chi. Now that he killed Wang Bo, the mission was more or less completed. The masterminds of this matter were these two people. Feeling Ning Shu's fierce killing intent, Zhao Bo's face turned pale. He used his greatest strength to push Ning Shu back 2 steps. Zhao Bo didn't want to fight with Ning Shu anymore. He wanted to escape. Ning Shu raised his sword and stabbed towards Zhao Bo's back. This time, no matter what, he had to kill Zhao Bo. Zhao Bo casually pulled a sect's disciple, Ning Shu, and pushed him over to buy time to escape. The disciple who was pushed over by Zhao Bo had a face of fear. Ning Shu forcibly withdrew his sword, and Xiaobo took the opportunity to escape. Ning Shu dodged the disciple who was rushing towards him. He didn't know which sect's disciple was from, but it wasn't the Holy Devil Cult. Chase after him. Ning Shu shouted at the Holy Devil Cult's people. Mei Wu threw away the fruit platter in his hand and led the Holy Devil Cult's people to chase after Xiaobo. However, Xiaobo was a cunning old fox. He ran away in a short while. Miss, he's gone. Mei Wu reported to Ning Shu, who was on horseback. Ning Shu frowned. He turned on the positioning system, but he couldn't find Xiaobo's location. Ning Shu, it was like this every time. These tools more or less had some limitations. For example, this system could only locate important people, such as the protagonist. Ordinary passers-by couldn't be located at all. Also, it had to be fucking expensive. What a scam. Who knew who made these things? He wanted to complain. This was a blatant scam to the mission takers. This positioning system was probably based on a person's luck or merit. However, Xiaobo was a martial arts alliance leader. Why couldn't they find him? What Ning Shu didn't know was that Xiaobo died not long after Qi Yi returned to Zhao Castle. He was really just a side character. His purpose was to decorate Qi Yi's family background. As for the love and hatred involved, Ning Shu didn't know either. Go to Zhao Castle. Ning Shu urged the horse's stomach and led a group of black-clothed Holy Devil Cult's disciples towards Zhao Castle. When they arrived at Zhao Castle, they charged straight into it. Where's Xiaobo? Ning Shu stared at the Zhao Castle's disciples. Who are you? How dare you swagger into Zhao Castle? Do you know where Zhao Castle is? Zhao Ling pointed at Ning Shu. Where's Xiaobo? Ning Shu said indifferently. My husband hasn't returned from the martial arts convention. Please come again next time. Madame Zhao said calmly. Didn't he return? Oh, aren't you Zhao Yi's subordinate? Do. Zhao Ling looked at Mei Wu with confusion. Ning Shu waved his hand. Mei Wu didn't know what Ning Shu wanted to do this time. Kill them all? Once Mei Wu said this, the Zhao Castle's people became nervous. Zhao Linger's face turned pale. Do you know who my father is? How dare you? Your father is capable, not you. Who are you trying to scare with your father's name? Ning Shu grimaced. My elder brother is the Holy Devil Cult's leader. Holy Devil Cult? You are the Holy Devil Cult? Zhao Ling looked fearful as she grabbed Madame Zhao's arm tightly. Ning Shu bared his shining teeth. We are the Holy Devil Cult that kills people like scything flax. Ning Shu waved his hand. Mei Wu asked, kill them all. Burn it. Burn the entire Zhao Castle, Ning Shu said calmly. Yes. The Holy Devil Cult's people disappeared in a flash to start the fire. Ning Shu turned and left Zhao Castle. Not long later, Zhao Castle was covered in thick smoke. Everyone in Zhao Castle hurried to put out the fire. The place that was burned previously had just been repaired. Now it was burned again. Let's go back, Ning Shu said when everyone arrived. The group returned to St. Devil Peak in a grandiose manner. Back at St. Devil Peak, Ning Shu sent people to inquire about Xiaobo. Xiaobo had disappeared and didn't return to Zhao Castle. Who knew where he was hiding? Miss, Holy Devil Cult's leader wants you to go over for lunch. The maid outside Ning Shu said. Got it. Ning Shu got off the bed and walked towards the main hall. Holy Devil Cult's leader. Ning Shu bowed to Yihua. Yihua sat on a chair and nodded. Sit down. Chapter 1144. Ning Shu didn't know why Yihua was looking for him, so he sat beside Yihua and asked, Leader, what do you want me to do? There's no one else here. You can call me elder brother. Yihua poured a cup of tea and drank it. Do you want to drink tea? Pour it yourself. Yihua said. Ning Shu nodded. She poured herself a cup of tea and sipped it slowly. A maidservant served the dishes. We haven't eaten together for a long time. Let's eat together today, Yihua said. Ning Shu, he usually ignored her. Why did he want to eat together? Thank you, elder brother. Eat. Ning Shu picked up his chopsticks and ate. Yihua didn't speak, and neither did Ning Shu. There was only the sound of bowls and chopsticks colliding. But the leader's food was really delicious. Hongye, I heard you defeated Xiaobo? Yi Hua asked carelessly. Many people saw it, so Ning Shu didn't intend to hide it. Yi Hua put down his chopsticks and sipped his tea. I remember you started practicing martial arts when you were 7. You've only been practicing martial arts for 8 years. How could you defeat Xiaobo? Because I practice a very powerful secret manual. Ning Shu said directly. What secret manual? Where did you get it? Yi Hua picked up his chopsticks and picked up some food. Elder brother, do you know the forest behind St. Devil Peak? I found a secret manual and a skeleton in a cave. Ning Shu talked nonsense. Oh really? Yi Hua's expression was indifferent. No one could tell what he was thinking. Ning Shu nodded. Where's the secret manual? It's in my room. Elder brother, do you want it? I'll give it to you. Don't worry. Where's the skeleton? I asked Mei Wu to bury it. Mei Wu's expression didn't change when he heard this. He accepted his fate as if he was the one who did everything. After eating, Yi Hua wiped his mouth and rinsed his mouth. Ning Shu said, "Come for dinner tonight." Thank you, big brother. Ning Shu walked out of the hall. Mei Wu followed behind Ning Shu and asked in a low voice, "What secret manual do you have? When have I ever buried a skeleton?" If I say there is, then there is. Sure, but the secret manual? The hierarch asked you to have dinner with him tonight so that you can bring the secret manual over. Mei Wu said, "What if cult master suspects you and kills you? Will Miss not be able to come back?" I'm prepared. Ning Shu was not in a hurry, because her peerless martial skill was a bit more powerful than these mental cultivation methods, as it directly absorbed the spirit chi of heaven and earth. If he were to display his combat prowess, it would definitely arouse suspicion. Any news about Xiaobo? Ning Shu asked Mei Wu. It had been a while and there was no news about Zhao Buizhen at all. Now, even the righteous sects were like headless flies, sweeping the snow in front of their own door. No news. The people we sent to spy on Zhao family fort said that he did not return. The Zhao family fort's people are also looking for him, Mei Wu said. Ning Shu nodded and began to cultivate again. Undercurrents were surging in the Jianghu now. Who knew when something terrifying would erupt? 2333 still had not informed her to leave the world, which meant that the mission was not completed yet. It was a pity that she could not kill Xiaobo. She felt that Xiaobo was like a fishbone stuck in her throat. Moreover, she had successfully cultivated the origin-returning sacred skill. Although the last 3 volumes had been tampered with, the first 2 volumes were real. Xiaobo and Zhu Yang both had spirit roots, which was why they could cultivate the secret manual. Ning Shu originally thought that Xiaobo would not be able to cultivate it successfully, but she did not expect that Xiaobo had spirit roots. She wondered if Xiaobo would go berserk. All kinds of thoughts flashed through Ning Shu's mind. Finally, she calmed down and started cultivating. It was useless to think too much. Once one became strong, one would not be afraid of anything. In the evening, a maid came to call Ning Shu over for dinner. Ning Shu stopped cultivating and took out a yellowed and tattered book from the box on the dressing table. This was an old book that Ning Shu had specially asked someone to find. Then he wrote the peerless martial arts on it. Ning Shu took the secret manual and walked towards the main hall. Mei Wu asked, "Will the cult master believe this?" "He will. Brother, this is the secret manual I found. Take a look." Ning Shu handed the tattered book to Yi Hua. Yi Hua reached out her jade-white hand and took it. She casually flipped through it and put it aside. "You're just casually cultivating this kind of secret manual without asking anyone. You can't be careless when it comes to cultivating martial arts." "I'm too busy. When I was young, I thought it was fun, so I cultivated by myself," Ning Shu said. "Have you given this secret manual to others to cultivate?" Yi Hua asked. Ning Shu shook his head. The maid brought the dishes over. Yi Hua lifted her chin and said to Ning Shu, "Eat." Ning Shu picked up his chopsticks and ate. After eating, he obediently left. Ning Shu guessed that Yi Hua would definitely cultivate it. After all, her fighting strength was there for all to see. Moreover, with Yi Hua's scheming, she definitely wouldn't give this secret manual to others to cultivate. If this secret manual was really so powerful, then only the cult master of each generation could cultivate it. Moreover, this secret manual wasn't like a true cultivation secret manual. Only those with spiritual roots could cultivate it. As for what Yi Hua would do with this secret manual, Ning Shu couldn't control it. Yi Hua had supreme authority in the Holy Devil cult. After evading Yi Hua, Ning Shu began to cultivate again. However, a major event happened in the Jianghu. The everlasting sect submitted to the Zhao clan. The reason was that Zhao Bo, who had disappeared for a long time, suddenly appeared. He went to the everlasting sect alone and beat everyone there. Then he asked if they submitted or not. If they didn't submit to the Zhao clan, then the everlasting sect would disappear. The everlasting sect was placed under the banner of the Zhao clan. Next was the Plum Blossom Villa. Zhao Bo also dealt with a group of people by himself. The people of the Plum Blossom Villa resisted vigorously. Zhao Bo killed the villa master and the powerful people of the Plum Blossom Villa. Then, the Plum Blossom Villa was placed under the banner of the Zhao clan. In a short period of time, 3 sects were crippled by Zhao Bo and were absorbed into the Zhao clan. The other sects were trembling with fear. They didn't know if it would be their turn next. Zhao Bo was simply crazy. When Ning Shu heard this news, he thought of what Zhao Bo said before. He wanted to unify the Jianghu. After unifying those righteous sects, what should he do next? That would be to bring people to attack the demon cult. Did this Zhao Bo have a male lead halo? He suddenly turned into a super scion. He didn't even do anything on the surface. He directly used violence to make people submit. This was the rhythm of going to heaven. Ning Shu hurriedly went to find Yi Hua and told him to make preparations. Yi Hua was ordering his subordinates to do something. He was frowning. Obviously, he knew about this matter. Brother, I feel that the 2 volumes of the correct origin returning sacred technique are also a big killing weapon. The current Zhao Bo has become very powerful. Ning Shu said to Yi Hua. Yi Hua looked at Ning Shu expressionlessly. Are you blaming this sovereign? Ning Shu shook his head. Yi Hua's expression, how could he say yes? Chapter 1145. If the secret scripture is full of loopholes, will others cultivate it? Yi Hua said indifferently, now that Zhao Bo has done such a thing, it means that he's already showing signs of qi deviation and can't control his mind. Ning Shu, ha ha. Ning Shu laughed inwardly. Was Yi Hua trying to regain his face by saying that? Then we have to make plans early. If we wait until he gathers his people, we'll be in trouble. Ning Shu said to Yi Hua. Saint Devil Peak is easy to defend and hard to attack. It won't be easy to attack. I'll make arrangements. What if there's a spy like Qi in our sect? Saint Devil Peak's terrain was complicated. However, after living in Saint Devil Peak for a long time, he was very familiar with it. I know what to do. Yi Hua waved his hand at Ning Shu. Ning Shu saw that Yi Hua didn't want to talk to him, so he left. He walked out of the hall and asked Mei Wu, what's the situation now? Another 2 sects have already joined Zhao Castle. There are also some nameless sects that want to take advantage of the situation and voluntarily joined Zhao Castle. Mei Wu said. Ning Shu smacked his lips. Another 2 sects were destroyed. And Zhao Bo was able to beat him down by himself. How strong is Zhao Bo? Ning Shu was a little surprised. Was he really that powerful? Even cultivators couldn't be that fast. Many cultivators who cultivated for more than 100 years were still small cultivators. Zhao Bo couldn't have really gone mad, right? According to the scouts, it was him alone. He's very powerful. Ning Shu, waves were rising in the Jianghu. Zhao Bo's actions were swift and fierce. He was determined to unify the Jianghu. In the end, Zhao Bo was too lazy to look for them. He directly announced that he was coming to surrender. If they didn't agree, then he would destroy their sections. Every sect and sect had their own inheritances. In the future, they still had to pass down their inheritances. If they wanted to join Zhao Castle, then they would. Zhao Bo chose the sect that resisted the most fiercely and killed them all as an example to others. Soon, some of the sects took the initiative to surrender. When Ning Shu heard that Zhao Bo had directly killed a sex people, he thought to himself, "Oh my god, this Zhao Bo must be crazy." Even the members of the demonic sect would not necessarily do such a thing. Of course, there was also the possibility that the members of the demonic sect did not have the ability to do so. With this kind of speed, Zhao Bo would soon be able to unify the Jianghu for thousands of years. Other than paying attention to Zhao Bo, Ning Shu also sped up his rate of cultivation. He wondered what kind of natural treasure Zhao Bo had consumed to allow him to become so powerful. Yi Hua also began to cultivate the secret manual that Ning Shu had given him. Sometimes, he would call Ning Shu over like a boss and ask him about cultivation matters. "Ning Shu, if you're asking for help, you should act like you're asking for help." Then, Ning Shu told him everything. Yi Hua replied with an "oh." Ning Shu waved his hand and told her to scram. Ning Shu was cursing in his heart, but his expression was calm. "Miss, the Wuyo Temple has also been absorbed into the Zhao family fort." Mei Wu walked in front of Ning Shu. Ning Shu said, "From now on, all the righteous sects have been absorbed into the Zhao family fort." Ning Shu curled his lips. Even the Wuyo Temple couldn't escape. Living in this world, no one could stay out of it. Even he couldn't control his own fate. If he couldn't even protect himself, how could he enlighten the world? "Little monk Huiji, I hope you can enlighten your righteous Wulin Alliance head. The situation is tense now. I think the Zhao family fort will attack us soon." Mei Wu said worriedly, "What are you afraid of? I will sweep them away." Mei Wu, the Saint Devil Peak also became busy, making all kinds of defensive arrangements. There was a suffocating feeling like before a storm. Zhao Bo was faster than they had expected. Soon, he gathered the sects and attacked the Saint Devil sect. Soon, they surrounded the Saint Devil sect. Ning Shu looked down at the people below. There were people from all kinds of sections. Even the monks of the Wuyo Temple were wearing the clothes of the Zhao family fort. Coupled with their bald heads, they looked out of place. Huiji was among them. Sensing Ning Shu's gaze, he raised his head and looked into Ning Shu's eyes. Even though they were far apart, Ning Shu could still see his clear eyes. They were peaceful and compassionate. Ning Shu shifted his gaze. As expected, he was the monk with the most resolute Buddhist heart. In the face of such an unexpected situation, he was even calmer than some of the older monks. These righteous sects still came to attack the Saint Devil sect. Although the process was different and the main characters were different, it was still the same as in the plot. Damn, who did the Saint Devil sect offend? Why did they have to attack the Saint Devil sect? What righteous path, what evil path? They were all the same. People's hearts were all the same. Ning Shu stared at the leader. Zhao Bo was floating in the air. His hair was all white. Zhao Bo was only 40 years old. During the martial arts convention, his hair wasn't like this. His hair turned white overnight. People who cultivated would get younger the more they cultivated. Especially cultivators, they could improve their bodies. Yi Hua, who was beside Ning Shu, asked, "Does white hair mean that he went berserk?" Yi Hua didn't say anything. Ning Shu didn't care about Yi Hua's appearance. He was always pretending to be profound. "Yi Hua, long time no see. You're still so weak." Zhao Bo said, "You are far from your father." "Yes, long time no see. You have grown old and should enter the coffin," Yi Hua said calmly. The two's conversation was filled with gunpowder. "Has he fought with father?" Ning Shu asked Yi Hua. Yi Hua's expression was one of disdain. He took advantage of father's injuries and ambushed him. Otherwise, how could he become the martial arts alliance head? Ning Shu was speechless. Why did they treat the Devil Sect's people as meritorious deeds? As if he could become the martial arts alliance head if he dealt a heavy blow to the Devil Sect. Your Saint Devil Sect killed the innocent. Today, we will make the Saint Devil Sect disappear from the Jianghu. Zhao Bo said loudly, "Exterminate the Devil Sect! Exterminate the Devil Sect!" These people shouted weakly. It was obvious that they were not united. Yi Hua only sneered to express his disdain. "Yi Hua, let me see if your skin has grown. How can you be like your father?" Zhao Bo said as he launched a fierce attack at Yi Hua. Yihua didn't show any weakness. The two started fighting. The two people started fighting. Both sides watched the two fight. If it wasn't for the wrong atmosphere, Ning Shu would have applauded. This was much more exciting than the martial arts convention. Xiaobo was very strong, but Yihua wasn't weak either. As the two fought, the shockwaves spread to the surroundings and even cracked the mountain rocks. One black and one green figure flashed. If one didn't look carefully, one wouldn't be able to see the two's fighting postures. Yihua's martial arts were actually so good. However, in the storyline, he was raped to the point of eating forbidden drugs. In the end, all the veins in his body were broken. Who knew if the current Xiaobo or the storyline's Qi was stronger? Chapter 1146. The two sides faced each other as they stared at Xiaobo and Yihua, who were locked in battle. In the end, Yihua's strength was slightly weaker and he lost. Yihua retreated with an indifferent expression. There was a bit of blood at the corner of his mouth. He was clearly injured. "Brother, are you all right?" Ning Shu took out a medicine bottle and poured out a pill. "This is the holy healing medicine made by Elder Gu. Quickly take it." Yihua took the medicine and swallowed it. "Yihua, you're much weaker than your father. A son can't compare to his father." After beating back Yihua, Xiaobo appeared to be very proud. Ning Shu flew out. Usually, people who bully the young and take advantage of their seniority. Don't you feel ashamed? During the martial arts convention, I could beat you until you rolled on the ground. Now, I can beat you until you're looking for your teeth on the ground. Impudent. Do you have the right to speak here? Xiaobo's white hair fluttered and his expression was ugly. Ning Shu sneered. "Old thing, what are you playing at?" Ning Shu mobilized the qi in his dantian. After a period of cultivation, Ning Shu's strength had increased a bit. Ning Shu clenched his fist and a white, almost transparent dragon head appeared on his fist. It roared silently. As Ning Shu punched, the dragon head became more and more ferocious. Xiaobo's expression was somewhat dignified as he fiercely counterattacked Ning Shu. Every time Ning Shu punched, there would be a ferocious dragon head. Yihua looked at Ning Shu's fist and raised his handsome eyebrows. Every time Xiaobo's fist collided with Ning Shu's, he would feel a powerful force that shook his entire body. Even his lungs hurt from the vibrations. Xiaobo circulated his qi and the aura on his body became more and more powerful. It made it difficult for everyone present to breathe. Especially Ning Shu, who was facing him, he felt the pressure especially great. Ning Shu sneered. Looking at Xiaobo's appearance, he was afraid that he had cultivated to the later stages. Xiaobo's eyes were a little scarlet, and the veins on his face were bulging like earthworms. Ning Shu floated in the air and released the qi gene in his body. An invisible qi gene in the shape of a dragon roared and rushed towards Xiaobo. It directly passed through Xiaobo's body several times. Ning Shu flew over and struck Xiaobo's chest with his palm. Xiaobo spat out a mouthful of blood and crashed into the stone wall. Xiaobo also spat out a mouthful of blood. Xiaobo's eyes turned even redder as he stared at Ning Shu. The veins on his face and neck bulged, then disappeared. It was as if there were earthworms squirming in his skin. It was a horrifying sight. "Kill the devil sect's evildoer for me," Xiaobo roared. "Fort Lord, the demonic sect is too powerful. I'm afraid we will suffer heavy losses," someone said. I said, "Beat him up. Whoever doesn't move, kill without mercy." Xiaobo slapped the person who refuted him to death. That person's internal organs were ruptured by Xiaobo's palm strike, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. The blood was filled with broken internal organs. There was no hope for this person. When the others saw Xiaobo's ruthlessness, they began to charge towards the devil sect. "Kill!" The two sides converged together like two waves of water and began to fight. After a while, the thick smell of blood drifted out. Many people were injured and lost their lives because of this. There were people from the righteous sects and also people from the Saint Devil sect. Ning Shu looked at these killings. These people died because of some people's ambitions. Ning Shu saw the little monk Huiji from the corner of his eyes. He was sitting cross-legged on the ground and silently reciting Buddhist scriptures. His whole body was quiet and peaceful. In the midst of the killing, he seemed incomparably noble. Many people walked in front of him. Some people fell in front of him, and blood splattered on his body. His expression was always peaceful and compassionate. Ning Shu, she really wanted to stab this guy with her sword. Zhao Bo roared angrily as Ning Shu and Yi Hua rushed over. His expression was somewhat strange and crazy. You monsters from the devil sect should all die. Zhao Bo's hands released a powerful force. Ning Shu and Yi Hua rushed over. Ning Shu dodged the attack and attacked Zhao Bo together with Yi Hua. Zhao Bo was already injured before, and now he was being attacked by two people. It was very strenuous for him. I'll let you see my power. Zhao Bo roared angrily. The clothes on his body were scattered. Zhao Bo's eyes were scarlet. He quickly stretched out his palm and slapped Yi Hua's chest. Yi Hua spat out blood and retreated. Ning Shu released a dragon-shaped energy. The huge dragon pierced through Zhao Bo's body. Zhao Bo spat out a mouthful of blood, but the aura on his body became stronger and stronger. His eyes were somewhat unfocused. He's going berserk, Yi Hua said while clutching his chest. Ning Shu, going berserk made him even stronger. He felt like a crazy person. He was strong and ran fast. The dragon-shaped energy continuously pierced through Zhao Bo's body. Zhao Bo spat out blood, but the more he fought, the more courageous he became. He rushed towards Yi Hua. Zhao Bo really wanted to kill Yi Hua, the leader of the devil sect. Ning Shu pulled Yi Hua away. He stretched out his palm and met Zhao Bo's palm. The two of them flew out at the same time. Ning Shu's mouth was overflowing with blood. Zhao Bo directly spat out a mouthful of blood. However, he didn't feel tired. He didn't show any signs of being injured. Instead, he went to kill the other members of the devil sect. Zhao Bo was very strong. Not only did he kill the people of the devil sect, his eyes were red. No matter who the person in front of him was, he would kill. Not only did he kill the people of the devil sect, he also killed his own people. Everyone retreat. Yi Hua beat the drum. The people of the devil sect immediately retreated to the devil sect. But the righteous sects were a bit bitter. The current Zhao Bo was like a mad dog. He would bite whoever he caught. No matter who the person in front of him was, he would kill them. His restless qi and blood had clouded his mind. The people of the devil sect expressionlessly watched Zhao Bo kill. Amit Ba. The little monk Huiji bowed to Ning Shu from afar. I asked the benefactor to help me control Alliance head Zhao, so as to prevent more people from meeting with misfortune. Ning Shu smiled as he looked at Huiji. Little monk, I don't know how to control people. I only know how to kill. Right now, Alliance head Zhao is in a very dangerous situation. If he escapes, he will cause a lot of harm. The little monk Huiji said to Ning Shu. The little monk Huiji's voice attracted Zhao Bo's attention. Zhao Bo stretched out his hand and attacked the little monk Huiji. Ning Shu casually took a rope and threw it towards Zhao Bo. The little monk dodged Zhao Bo. Ning Shu pulled the rope with both hands and tied it around Zhao Bo's body. He hurriedly added a few more ropes. Zhao Bo moved his body, as if he wanted to break free from the rope. Ning Shu shouted to Yi Hua. Big brother, throw me another rope. Before Ning Shu could finish his words, he heard a phew sound. It was the sound of a sword piercing through skin. Ning Shu turned his head and saw a young man holding a sword piercing through Zhao Bo's chest. Zhao Bo let out a hee-hee sound as he gasped for breath. The man who killed Zhao Bo was young and inexperienced. He stabbed his sword into Zhao Bo's heart. His expression was filled with panic and hatred. He is a devil. He killed my father. The man fell to the ground and held his head with both hands. Chapter 1147. PFFF, PFFF, PFFF. The surrounding people suddenly took out their weapons and stabbed Zhao Bo's body. Many bloody holes appeared on Zhao Bo's body as fresh blood spurted out. Zhao Bo fell to the ground with a plop as his scarlet eyes stared. Amit Ba. The little monk Huiji sat on the ground and began to chant the Rebirth Sutra to release the souls of those who died here. Ning Shu returned to the Saint Devil Mountain. Yi Hua squinted his eyes. Now that they have no leader, let's take this opportunity to kill them. Ning Shu shook his head. Our Saint Devil sect also suffered heavy losses, so did the other party. Why don't we stop fighting now? Fifth. Yi Hua sneered. Don't tell me that we'll wait for them to recover before attacking us? We don't know when they'll recover, but all the slightly stronger people from the various sects have been killed by Xiaobo. They've all been reduced to third-rate sections. Ning Shu looked at Yi Hua. If we really want to unify the underworld, the army should be here. This kind of mutual restraint was the way to survive. Yi Hua didn't say anything. Ning Shu smiled and said, Brother, this world is much bigger than we imagined. There are many unknown things. Perhaps there are other worlds outside of this world. Why do we have to work so hard for such a small thing, only to turn into dust in the end? Perhaps they were fighting here, fighting over something that looked very precious. Perhaps there was a giant looking at them, who were like ants, fighting over trash. Just like when we're bored, we watch ants move things and snatch things. We might even be living in a dream. When we wake up, we will disappear. Yi Hua turned his head and squinted his eyes as he stared at Ning Shu. His gaze swept across Ning Shu's face inch by inch. Yi Hua waved his hand and the people of the Saint Devil sect surrounded everyone. Everyone's face was filled with fear and apprehension. Ning Shu raised his eyebrows. Brother? They came to invade the Saint Devil sect, yet we let them go. They think that the people of the Saint Devil sect are easy to bully. If we don't teach them a lesson, it won't be the style of the Saint Devil sect. Yi Hua's expression was cold. Yi Hua walked over with Ning Shu following beside him. A slightly more capable person stepped forward and cupped his hands towards Yi Hua. Cult leader Yi, this time we were all forced by Xiaobo. We have no way to resist, so we ask for cult leader Ye's forgiveness. Oh. Yi Hua said nonchalantly, in any case, Xiaobo is dead now, so you can say whatever you want. Monk Hui Kong of the Wio Temple stood up and said, Benefactor Yi, we were wrong in this matter. Please forgive us, Yi Benefactor. Amitba. The little monk Huiji stood up. As long as the benefactor allows everyone to leave, and as long as this little monk doesn't invade the holy devil cult in his lifetime, a monk doesn't lie. If I violate this, I will be punished by the heavens and earth. The Plum Blossom Manor will not offend the holy devil cult. Everlasting Sect, Mount Song Sect. After the little monk Huiji made the vow, the others hurriedly followed suit. Ning Shu rolled his eyes. Little monk, if you pledge allegiance to the Zhao fort, then wouldn't the Wio temple be destroyed? As long as this little monk is alive, the Wio temple will always exist. Before the abbot died, the abbot of the Wio temple was already passed down to this little monk. This little monk is now the abbot of the Wio temple. The little monk Huiji said, Oh, you are the abbot? What are you showing off for? This little monk is not showing off. The holy devil cult was attacked by you and suffered heavy losses. There were also many injured. Yi Hua said indifferently, We will compensate you. The people of the Plum Blossom Manor immediately said, Compensation, we will definitely compensate. You better hurry up. If it's too late, we will go to each sect to take it. Yi Hua waved his hand and the people of the holy devil cult opened up a path. These people dragged the corpses of their sect's disciples and ran away as if they were burned. Hong Yi, look at these righteous sections. Yi Hua said with disdain. Ning Shu said, Righteous sects are also people. Not everyone can be a hero. Thank you, female benefactor. The little monk Huiji Ning Shu bowed. Benefactor has saved this little monk time and again. This little monk is unable to repay you. Repay with your body. Ning Shu said casually. Since he was unable to repay her, then he could only repay her with his body. The moment Ning Shu said this, the faces of the monks behind Huiji twisted. They wanted to scold Ning Shu, but their lives were still in his hands. The little monk Huiji's expression did not change. Benefactor is joking. This little monk will take his leave. The little monk Huiji walked at the front and left with the group of monks. Who knew if it was Ning Shu's misconception, but he felt that the little monk's footsteps were filled with Sanskrit. This matter could be considered to have passed just like that. However, it would be difficult for these sects to prosper again. The experts of these sects were all slaughtered by Zhao Bo. And Zhao Fort was destroyed by these sects in one night. The disciples of Zhao Fort were also scattered. After all, Zhao Fort didn't even have a person to preside over the situation. These people directly set fire to Zhao Fort. Ning Shu smacked his lips. Burning houses was the patent of this witch from the devil sect, but these people still dared to steal it. He also didn't know what happened to the heaven's pride and earth's favorite Zhao Ling. Ning Shu sent people out to inquire, but they only heard that she was taken away by the original Zhao Fort disciples. Without her father's protection, Zhao Linger's life would not be easy. Her father killed many people from sects when he was alive, and now people came to seek revenge. People were drifting in the Jianghu, stabbing each other. However, the Jianghu wasn't too chaotic now. Everyone had their tails between their legs. It was unprecedentedly peaceful. The restless atmosphere from before had also dissipated. Even people's moods had relaxed. Yi Hua started to seriously cultivate her peerless martial arts. When she had nothing to do, she would call Ning Shu over to ask. Then, intentionally or unintentionally, she would lead the topic to the heavens. Ning Shu only said that there was definitely a world that they didn't know about. Maybe there really was a paradise or something. Yi Hua waved her hand to tell Ning Shu to scram. Ning Shu curled his lips and left. When Ning Shu was free, he would bring a group of subordinates to walk around. At the same time, he would also collect compensation for his mental trauma. He would play for a few days at every sect. Seeing that these people were so sullen that they couldn't speak, but they had to treat him well, Ning Shu felt very comfortable. Ning Shu wandered around and saw many different kinds of strange and indescribable scenery. Ning Shu arrived at Wuyu Temple. After the previous incident, the incense at Wuyu Temple wasn't as prosperous as before. There were only a few worshippers. At the entrance, Huiji brought a group of monks to welcome Ning Shu. Ning Shu walked over. The bell at his waist gave out a crisp sound as he walked. "Ah me, where's the money?" Ning Shu asked. "The money has been prepared. Benefactor, please rest." Huiji said. Ning Shu nodded and followed Huiji into Wuyu Temple. The moment he walked in, he smelled the scent of pine. Chapter 1148. I want to stay here for a few days and take a good look at Wuyu Temple. Ning Shu looked at Huiji. "I also want to talk to you about my life goals." It would be impolite to decline. The small monk said in a serious manner. Ning Shu ate the vegetarian food that the small monk mentioned, and it did taste quite good. You monks really know how to enjoy such well-cooked food. You are an important guest, so we usually don't cook such exquisite food. Huiji said. Ning Shu looked at the peach blossom forest outside the window. The peach blossoms had just bloomed and the wind blew the branches. The buds swayed slightly. Ning Shu, Huiji, said, "These peach blossoms listen to the Sanskrit chants every day and maybe they will develop Buddhist nature. Your temple might even give birth to a peach blossom demon." That is good. Everything has a spirit. If the peach blossoms really develop intelligence after listening to the Sanskrit chants, then they are fated with Buddha. Huiji said in a clear voice. Ning Shu supported his chin and looked at the small monk before looking at the peach blossoms outside. He had already imagined the beautiful love story between the beautiful monk and the peach blossom demon. But whether or not a peach blossom demon would appear was still uncertain. "Small monk, if you are free, water these peach blossoms and fertilize them. Don't chant scriptures all day. If you want to chant scriptures, you have to chant them to the peach blossoms. Who knows, maybe a peach blossom demon might appear." Ning Shu smiled and said. Huiji didn't say anything. "Small monk, what do you think love is?" Ning Shu asked. "Obsession." Huiji said, "An obsession that you have to get. Humans can't escape from greed, anger, and stupidity." Huiji said. Ning Shu felt that Huiji's words made sense. It was greed that wanted to possess and was unwilling to give up. Ning Shu stretched. "I am leaving tomorrow. Prepare the money." The next day, Ning Shu took the small monk's money and left. Before he left, the small monk called out to Ning Shu. "What is it?" Ning Shu asked. Amitba, may Buddha bless you, Huiji said seriously, handing the prayer beads in his hand to Ning Shu. Ning Shu took the prayer beads. Each bead was plump and shiny, with a hint of sandalwood fragrance. Thank you, I'm leaving. Ning Shu led a group of people away in a cloud of dust. After returning to the Saint Devil Peak, Ning Shu no longer ran around. Instead, he learned how to concoct poison from poison scorpion Elder Gu. Her poison concocting skills were still at the beginner level, so it would be a good idea to learn more. Ning Shu also joined the ranks of destroying these medicine men. Ning Shu mainly wanted to learn how to deal with human skin from Elder Gu, as well as the medicine that could change the characteristics of the human body. These things might be useful in the future. However, Ning Shu felt that this Elder Gu was really abnormal. He had all kinds of strange poisons. All kinds of torture. It was simply an eye-opener for Ning Shu. He really lived up to his reputation as Poison Scorpion. Ning Shu also learned many things from him. He memorized all kinds of poison concocting recipes, and all kinds of herbs and poisons. Mei Wu asked Ning Shu, "When will Miss come back?" "Soon, very soon." Ning Shu stared at the book, not even raising his head as he answered. "When is soon?" Mei Wu asked tirelessly. "So," Ning Shu said, "Your miss will definitely come. Don't worry." "I'm worried." Ning Shu spread his hands. "There's nothing you can do even if you're worried." At this moment, a maid came over. Mei Wu shut his mouth. The maid Ning Shu said, "Miss, the cult master invites you over for a meal." Ning Shu nodded. He guessed that Yihua had something to ask him. Actually, Ning Shu didn't really like eating with Yihua. When they were eating, he looked indifferent and spoke in a half-dead manner. He wasn't happy at all. He had a bit of indigestion. After the meal, Yihua and Ning Shu talked for a while. "Are there other worlds besides this one?" Yihua asked faintly. "There's always someone better than you. There must be other worlds. It's just that we don't know about them." Ning Shu nodded. Yihua was silent. Ning Shu waved his hand, and Ning Shu hurriedly left. Ning Shu lived a leisurely life in the demon sect. Mei Wu stared at Ning Shu every day. He stared at Ning Shu until a D mark appeared on Ning Shu's face. Mission complete. Do you want to leave this world immediately? 2333's voice sounded in Ning Shu's mind. Ning Shu glanced at Mei Wu and said in his mind, "Leave." Ning Shu felt dizzy. When he opened his eyes, he saw the empty system space and the black mark on the wall. The black mark is a bit smaller. When will the fusion be complete? Ning Shu asked. 2333 said, "It'll take some time." Ning Shu sat on the ground and began to absorb the pure soul energy in the system space. After the absorption, Ning Shu looked down at his soul. His soul had become stronger. In the future, his soul would become stronger and stronger. He would become immortal and indestructible. Ning Shu opened his status panel and looked at his rewards. Number, 2333 Name, Ning Shu, Advanced Mission Taker. Age, 27 points, 42. 15 million Soul, 330 HP, 111 Wisdom, 344 Charm, 30 Luck, 199 Intelligence, 230 Faith, 16515 Martial Strength, 352 Aptitude, 129 Merit, 13460 Skills. 5th Ring Shooting Technique, Intermediate Close Combat Technique, Intermediate Poison Technique, Beginner Business Management Knowledge, Beginner Code Programming, Beginner Lawyer Skill, Beginner Ghost Catching Skill. Honorary titles: Goddess of War, Selfless Ancestor Items, Calming Aura, Calming Pill, Faith Aura, Amulet 4, Upgraded Amulet 2 Aura, Mother of the World, Queen's Blessing, Sister Model Worker, Qinshi's Blessing, Leader Aura, Grass Blessing, Best Friend, Miao Miao Miao's Blessing, Savior, Zhu Su Nyang's Blessing, Founding Female General, Chen Ermiai's Blessing, Lady Justice, Chen Ning's Blessing, Complete Hong Ye's Wish, Not be deceived by Qi. Kill Qi and take revenge on those righteous sections. Mission Reward, 5 million points, 2,000 Faith, 40 Attribute Points, Buddhist-like Bracelet. The points and attribute points for this mission could only be considered average, but Hongye gave all her soul energy. However, this Buddhist light bracelet was given to her by Huiji. What's the use of this Buddhist light bracelet? Ningshu asked 2333. That little monk can be considered a senior monk. This bracelet is contaminated with Buddhist aura. Evil spirits will not come close. It has the effect of warding off evil spirits. 2333 said. Ningshu's eyes lit up. This was a good thing. Other than the Buddhist light bracelet, several of his skills had leveled up. His ultimate martial technique had gone from beginner to intermediate success. Perhaps after a while, he would be able to master it easily. Her poison technique had gone from beginner to intermediate. Her poison technique had become more powerful. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.